What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
Welcome to VP4 TV, a Tactical Genius production. Here is a list of upcoming matches in the 2023 Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. I try to stream what I think will be the best matches to watch and offer a good standard of play. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels so you can join in the stream chat.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4 TV. Welcome to Michael, Hairpig, Travelling TT, Bill, Slim, and Mark, and anybody else that's there. We're here for a round 4 match tonight in the VP4 2023 Virtual 9-Ball World Championship, and it's between Larry from the USA and Bedhead from Sweden. I can't remember whether Larry did he end up in the one-loss side in the Straight Pool World Championships, because obviously he got to the final. But anyway, is Larry going to survive another round on the winner's side, or is Bedhead going to take him down? Bedhead, of course, coming through that match against Albie, sending him to the one-loss side. Looking at the bracket, we can see that that Larry came through against Matt, 19 racks to 13. Bedhead, of course, winning by 5 racks against Albinario. We're going to go at the top, excuse me, at the top of the hour. A word about Stubb. There was a challenge room up this afternoon. I think it was Cobra's. I think Cobra had gone by then, but 2 or 3 of the guys were in. Mr. Fox was in, Stubb was there, Spectratron was there, I think Bill was there, and Mr. Fox was verbally or in tight. He was offering proposals to Stubb to get their match arranged, and Stubb faffed around and there was no confirmation of nothing, and so there is still nothing arranged for their match. I presume that Mr. Fox has sent him proposals, but we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, Steve said he's going to be here. I'll have a quick tab out and see if he's there. He probably won't be.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chapman, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Steve.
Good afternoon and good evening to you.
So, I think there's a fair majority, I would say, are picking Bedhead. And Chimpy's one of them. He's just said 1914. You know, they're talking about 3 or 4 racks in it. And I think somebody went for Larry. I'm going to go for Larry, 1917, just for the hell of it. And
yeah, I think Larry's got a chance here. I mean, Bedhead's definitely the advantage, but I mean, the thing with Larry is if he's not missing balls, then he's plays pretty good. So
yeah,
for him, I think it's just avoiding missing balls. And, you know, Bedhead, he can be a little up and down too, but I think overall Bedhead's a little bit more consistent. So I would give him the edge. I don't know. I saw Hairpig with a 1910 Bedhead. I don't think it's going to be that unless Larry really struggles.
Well, remember you were talking about, we haven't seen anybody. I don't think we've seen anybody run more than 3 racks in any of the streams that I've done. I don't think I'm talking about 3 in a row. So I wonder whether we're going to see somebody step up tonight and get a roll on.
Maybe. I mean, there's 2 issues. One is you got to make balls on the break, and then the other is, obviously you got to have a shot on the 1 ball, but then you got to run out, and there's not that many players that play tough tables well. I mean, everybody that's a good player can run out an easy table, but you're not always going to get easy tables. So it's just it's a percentages thing, the way you get a lot of racks run is to have, high percentages, and not make mistakes. You've really got to be able to move the cue ball and be a really good thinker, because you're going to get racks that are just not so easy. I think we've got guys capable of running 6-packs, but we haven't seen it yet.
Well, we'll see how many little delicate shots Larry has to play with this mouse has, and see whether he pays the price again. That's what I'm betting on.
What are you calling the mouse? Are you calling it a track mouse now?
Well, I'm calling it the trackball mouse, yeah. Because as I said, I think he gets caught out once too often with something that needs a delicate touch, and you can't really be that delicate with it. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, well, from what I've seen of Larry, his biggest problem has just been missing balls that he really shouldn't be missing, and if he can stay away from that, I think he's got a chance to win this match.
Yeah, it's whether any signs of wear and tear kick in late on when it needs to be held together. That goes for Bedhead as well. The nerves can kick in if it gets close, and then it's anybody's game. I hope it is, because I want to see a good match. I don't want to see somebody falling apart. The room's up. We'll get in. Stubb sent me his flag, and on the countdown there, you saw Stubb's flag, anybody that was here. And Stubb said to me on Facebook, he said, he sent me the flag, and he said that he'll stop using the caps lock button as long as I've got the flag up when he's playing. Bedhead on the right, and then he said, but I'll still type bullshit. I said, well, that's a given. We know that.
Well, that's okay. Well, we'll still mute him. But I did see him typing in small letters in the lobby.
Yep. Welcome to Matt.
Well, there's another for Bedhead. I think it's down to you and Bill for picking Larry.
1917. Oh, they're all queuing up to get to that side pocket, apart from the fact the 2 ball's not on.
Yeah, and pretty good break, but the thing about 9-ball is most players breaking 9-ball will try to control the 1-ball, unless it's a situation where they're playing a cut break, then they're trying to make the 1-ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think VP, it's a little in between, because the rack's not breaking exactly like it would in real life. But that's a terrible push out.
What about banking onto the 5, Steve? I mean, I was just about to say while you were chatting there, this is going to be a bank onto the 5. He'll take his luck if he's still on the 2, but
he could cut this. He could play safe.
He could still cut it as well. Yeah.
I mean, it's Bedhead we're talking about. I mean, isn't that what he does?
Yeah, I don't know what Larry saw in that shot. I mean, he had 2 choices what he wanted to do there.
That's called pushing out to a shot that your opponent plays better than you do.
Yeah, let me just...
you really want to do the opposite of that.
I'm just going to move my chat on my monitor. Hang on a minute. Things will up for a sec.
Of course, Albin's going for the Swede. He's got to. That would be an insult for him not to pick Bedhead.
Yeah, welcome to Albie. Welcome to Cobra. Yeah, they're all going for Bedhead, so I'll stick with 1917 to Larry, but I was going to change my mind there after that first safety, the push out by Larry. That was poor.
Yeah, well, that's mistake number 1 right off the bat.
Yeah.
Now this is an interesting little shot here.
Well, you can use the 9 ball, can't you, if you get it thin enough? But you might end up hooked behind the 8 if you're going to go
You
that
can
direction.
you can run off the 9, or you can try to stun this over. You don't have to go past the 8 for this.
Yeah, he's kept well away from it. Sensible. Now, the other day when, that's the thing I meant to say, the other day when the stream went down on YouTube, if you look at my YouTube channel, you see I've got 2 sections of that match, I think, with LS3, and that's because the YouTube server went down. The stream server went down. It was nothing to do with me. It was it that was playing up.
Well, mistake-wise, it's 1 for Larry, 0 for Bedhead.
Yeah, we'll see if the crowd's in. Yes, they are. Well, Larry's going to have to learn his lesson fairly sharpish after that first attempt. Dry break. Now again, needs a good safety. Now, I would like to bank that ball past the 9. I don't know whether the angle's too near that top left-hand corner. I think that's the problem with that shot, because I was thinking trying to get it back across and amongst those balls. And use the line of the 6, the 7, and the 3.
Yeah, I would make a play with a cue ball here, rather than the 1.
Yeah.
But
well, again, he needs to get cover.
That's a good shot. That's a risky shot, but
Yeah.
that was well played.
Well, it's not difficult to kick the 1.
No, I'd be trying to make the 4 here.
Yeah.
Kick cross side, and you hit that 1 on the
yeah. Try and
you hit that 1 on
the
the left side, and you're making the 4.
The other thing is, though, if you kick it from this end and you get right in there, I don't think you can get in there far enough to actually pot the 4 that way. Your way is by far the best option.
Well, you got a half a ball where you can make that 4 ball, and that's a pretty big target.
Yeah, he's missed it altogether. But I think your idea was a far better option and a far better odds to maybe nudge that 4 in. But Bedhead never got the hit at all.
Yeah, and you would hit that ball with some speed, which, you got a chance to get lucky even if you don't make the 4.
What's Larry thinking on here?
He should just billiard the 4.
Yeah, because the 2-3's a dead set combo.
Maybe he was trying to play for a 3 foul, but that's no good. Well, maybe. I mean, he needs to kick this off the end rail. You try to thin this 1, and you're going to probably scratch. This is a mistake. Well, he didn't scratch, but he sold out.
Well, I think Larry's, is he going to play the combo this time? Because he's no guaranteed the 1's going to stay good. He might duck behind the 4 again. I think I'd be ducking behind the 4 again. I'm
marking that as a mistake for Bedhead, because that was.
Well, he's played it, like I said, no idea where the cue ball or where the 1 ball was going to go, and now he's called his own bluff here. Does he go for the bank? And
well, the nice thing about going for the bank here
is away.
It's automatic shape to get on the 2-3 combo, and if you hit the 7, you might get in between the 2-3.
Yeah.
He's going to bank it the other way and kind of play a safety too here. This is the 2-way shot, because if he doesn't make this, he may be safe. The 1 ball will probably be on the end rail.
He's hit it way soft to make it dead weight. That was well done.
Yeah, that was a little too soft. I'm surprised he didn't bring the cue ball to the side rail. But it's good enough to run out from here. I can tell you this kind of shot's a lot easier in VP than it is in real life, that kind of combination. It's hard to miss it in VP, but you can miss it pretty easy in real life.
Well, he's solid on the rail, this 2 ball.
He needs to run into the 7 is what he needs to do.
Oh, I think he's okay. Yeah.
I don't understand why he doesn't just run into the 7 because he couldn't hook himself. The ball was going to move. The 6 would never hook him because the ball was going to go forward.
Well, he's got to get the pace of this right. He might have to go. He might have to hit this quite firm because he doesn't want to finish over on the left. I don't think.
I would just go across the other side, right about the head string, and take the 6 in the side, something like this.
Yeah, he's got the pace right.
I mean, it's a little high on it, but that's fine. I mean, this isn't a hard shot. All he has to do is roll it.
Well, of course, the obvious thing is he needs to get up high enough if he's taking that into the corner, or leave it up top if he's taking it into the side. But I don't think the side's a good bet. I think he's got to get into the table.
He's going to just bring this back to the middle of the table. I mean, it's hard not to at that angle on the 6.
He would have liked more angle in this 7 to go to the rail and miss the 9 and come in to this bottom left of the 8. He's going to try and dink past this 9, I think.
I think this is just straight back.
Let's have a look, see whether he can get this.
Oh yeah, he's got enough angle to bring it back. Oh, he's going to slide it over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he was going to do there. That's why I thought he'd have preferred more angle so he could get to the rail and come down a bit more. But he's fine. He's out here. So he needs to keep running. Bedhead stole the first rack off Larry from Larry's poor push out.
Well, so far it's one mistake apiece. And by no coincidence, the score is 1 apiece. Because I counted that a mistake on Bedhead when he thinned to 1.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, that if he was playing safe there, he didn't get safe. I mean, just hitting that was, I'm sure it was some kind of safety shot. Well, he's got a ball in. He's got the 1, and the 2 is sitting in front of the 9-2-9 combo is a duck.
He's coming back for that, no doubt. I can't.
You gotta hit this with some speed. The mistake you don't want to make is getting the Q-tip too low, because it's going to want to come back more. You know, when you hit it with speed, just a little bit of Q-tip down, and it could. Now he's got the Q-tip way down. I think he's going to try to play a touch shot.
Yeah.
See, that was the one thing. That was the one thing that you couldn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, don't put your Q-tip too low.
Well, that's one of those shots that required a bit more delicate touch, but he's got away with it with the bank. That was not the bank, the jump.
Yeah, bail out with the jump cue. But yeah, that was. If I've got that shot and I know I got to hit it with a little bit of speed to get it to come out, I'm saying to myself, make sure your Q-tip is not too low.
Well, I think that's one thing we can guarantee tonight, that you won't see Larry changing his break an awful lot. He might go slightly left or slightly right, but he's coming straight back every time.
Yeah, and you know, it's better to leave the cue ball more a little around the side pocket or a little past. But you know, if you had to choose between letting it go forward and coming all the way back, I'd rather be here.
Well,
he's got another good table.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be out here. You know, this is what we say when you get to this stage. These tables have to be taken out, and if you don't do it, it's a fail. Without any other excuses, you know, you've got balls and pockets and nothing to hinder you.
This 5 to 6 is a little tricky just because of the 9 ball there. You know, it's hard to get down the table.
I would just dink the 3 in and come out. See, he's come out too straight. He's come out too far. Now he's going to have to probably.
Yeah, I would have gone for a little more angle and gone behind the 9 ball.
I would have stayed there like that. because then I
He
know I'm
can-
coming down.
He can still go behind the 9-ball here, but it's a little bit tricky. You gotta hit it right. The thing
Right.
is, even if you catch the back of the 9-ball just a little, it's not gonna hurt you. So he's gonna play the safe shot, which I think is smart there. I mean, because he can roll this and he's on the 7 and he's out. I think that was a wise choice there. He got it over to the other side of the table, which is all he really needed to do. Well, so far, both these guys aren't missing shots, but they've made some mistakes in how they've played the racks and made some mistakes with safeties. Actually, the biggest mistakes were both on a push out and a safety.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I marked down as mistakes. I mean, I don't typically mark cue ball mistakes. I mean, if you wanted to revise my point system, you could mark off a half a point for something like what Larry did on hooking himself on the 7 if he wouldn't have made the 9 anyways.
So that's two break and runs, isn't it, from Larry?
Yeah. Yep. And he ran out from the 1-ball on the rack before that, didn't he? Or maybe he didn't. I can't remember what happened there.
Another ball in top right, and the cue ball's running down. I don't think the 8-ball's going to help him though. Let's have a look. Oh, there's room. Yeah, it goes past.
It goes.
To drop this in, no problem.
It goes in the table. The 6-ball is the biggest challenge, is going from the 4 to the 6.
Yeah.
But if he gets on the 4 good and he can run forward off the side rail, he should be able to get on the 6.
Yeah, there's not a problem getting on the 6 as long as he has the angle to get up here. But just a little push through for the 2, fine, not a problem.
I mean, this is critical how you get on this 3-ball, because he's got the 7 and the 6 and 9 on both sides of it, and that's pretty good. I'd rather have maybe a teen O-ring, but he can drag this up the table. He's got an angle. He can drag it straight up the table.
This is a comfortable shot, this 3-ball just coming in the gap.
Yeah, you could spin this off the side rail too. It brings the side pocket into potential play. Well, that was not the right play.
I don't know why he did that. He didn't need to, and now he's having to pull out a pot.
You had to at least pull that above the 9-ball. You could pull that straight up the table.
That was a bit crazy doing that. Just take your medicine.
I think he's going to have to jump this to pot it. I think he's blocked by the 9.
Yeah, you're right. I know. Yeah. He'll regret this, I'll tell you, if he doesn't get this out.
The thing is he got pretty good on the 3-ball and then played the wrong shot.
No problem. He created his problem.
Well, if this was me, I'd probably be banking this in the side pocket because it's natural to come back down the table and bring the cue ball right back down to the end rail on the other side of the 7.
Well, it looks as if he's just trying to slipper this 6-ball. That's what he's trying to do.
If he's trying to bank it, I think he might be too thick on it. Let's see what he decides to do here.
No, now I don't know what he's doing. He's lining up the combo.
Yeah, he's going to shoot the combo and bring the cue ball back, and he might get lucky here.
Well,
he didn't get lucky. That 6 goes in the side for sure, and maybe the corner too.
Well, I'll tell you, a Bedhead's taking this up top because he can get it into that corner up top, and he can just stun across to the 7. That's what he'll be doing. But
you just want to go straight across to the side rail. Make sure you don't pull it back like that. That's what you don't want to do.
Okay.
You should never try to get that perfect. I mean, that was about a 1/16 of an inch on the Q-tip away from being hooked.
So going back to that shot that Larry played there, Steve, where certainly that's what I was thinking. Just stun and a little bit of spin in that cue ball that's coming down the table. and he goes into the 6. What do you put that down as? Do you put that down as an error, or do you put it down,
Well,
I mean,
no. I mean, the thing was the error he made was on the 3 ball. I didn't mark it as an error because I'm not marking cue ball mistakes as an error because you can always, play safe or you're still in control of the table. But, if you wanted to get picky, I would count that as a half a point error when you make a cue ball mistake. I mean, he should have just drawn that 3 ball and taken the cue ball straight up the table with no rail. I think that was the most guaranteed shot.
well, it was, the way the table was, it really still is a 2-rack swing. Larry could have had a 4-1 lead there.
Yeah. But on the positive note, Larry isn't missing balls, and that's really been his bugaboo.
Well, not yet. He isn't.
Well, I mean, everybody's gonna probably. They're both probably gonna miss a ball or two. I mean, it's gonna happen. But when we've seen him struggle, he's missed a lot of balls and balls that are, ones you don't expect him to miss.
So 8 balls gone.
Now, I'd be cutting this 1 ball. I'd be cutting this 1 ball in the right corner if it was me. He looks like he's going to play safe, which I don't think is a terrible thing. You've got the 4 and 2, which I'm sure is what he's trying to use.
Well, I don't know what that was.
Well, no, he was trying to miss the 5. He's trying to bring the 1 straight back down the table, but the problem was he ran into it. I thought it was a better play just go ahead and cut the 1 because you were going to catch a piece of the 5 with the cue ball. It was going to go 2 rails, and you get the 2 in either the side pocket or the corner pocket. So that's a mistake for Bedhead because that's a bad safety.
He's just going to roll through here. I don't think he's going to risk trying to come back because he's got loads of room past the 4.
And we're giving Larry a mistake on the last rack because whether that was a safety or it was a shot, he didn't accomplish either.
Just a roll
so, yeah, I mean, you would think that he's going to run out here.
Roll through, drop the 3 in, take the 4 into the side or up into the top corner, whatever's best for him, depending on the line.
I think I would put a little right English just to hold it a little and shoot the 4 in the corner. Because you're coming across the line, 4 on the side, it's simpler just to use a teeny bit of right English and hold it a little.
Nope.
He's going to go for the side. But, I mean, he hit it good. If you're going to hit it good, it doesn't matter if you're coming across the line. Yeah, good cue ball speed is the hardest thing to get. And if you watch a lot of the pro pool where, they play on varying speed tables, I mean, the Euro Tour tends to have the tables, in my opinion, a little too fast. They're really fast. But when you see these guys play on fast tables, you're going to see them shy away from the shot that runs across the line because it's so hard to control the speed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to be in the habit of playing shots that are rolling down the next shot line. And what I mean by shot line, not the line from the object ball to the pocket, but the line that you want the cue ball on. So you have the angle you want from the cue ball to the object ball, whether the cue ball rolls a foot short or a foot long, you're still at that angle because you're rolling down the line of the angle you want the cue ball, the object ball to be. And that's how you deal with speed, and speed is the hardest thing in pool.
Yeah. So he has daylight. Now trying to build on it again. Now that 6 ball's going to go as well. 1 ball's into play, and he should be out.
Yep. Well, he's breaking good so far, and he's got a great table. This is a ball you don't want to underhit. You want to make sure you hit this hard enough to get out to the middle of the table.
Yeah, and if anything, overhit it because you've still got loads of room you're going to get in a 4.
Exactly. Now, he may go forward with this. Doesn't look like. Yeah, he is going forward.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad way to play it. I mean,
well, he doesn't want to be too close to the rail, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get into the cue ball too much here and tamper with that side pocket. He might just go forward and around the corner here. I think that's what he might be doing.
I just stunned it over. I get it close to the side pocket. You just need to be at a diamond below the side pocket and you're okay. I think he's gonna hit this with just a little draw because it's very controllable at this angle. You're not gonna have a lot of speed on the cue ball. Well, he looks like he's going forward.
There's no sign of movement here from Larry. Larry's maybe gone.
No,
there
moving.
he is. There he is.
If he's going forward, I'm going to officially declare him part of Filipino nation.
Yeah, I know he's digging in.
No, he's not. Yeah, and I think that's reasonable.
And,
but now,
well,
there's one of those shots that he shouldn't miss that he did.
Yeah, and he nearly fluked to 4.
Well, what I don't get is he spent so much time, and then after he moved his Q-tip, he pulled the cue back automatically right away. And it's almost like
the look of it.
Well, maybe he's playing pivot English, and he thinks, okay, well, this is just once I get it lined up, I move the Q-tip, I'm perfect. But that kind of shot where you're digging down on it and putting English on it, it's going to curve unless you're hitting it awful hard.
Well, the Bedhead cut. Oh dear.
Of course, he missed that on the thin side, so maybe he was playing curve, and I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't pretty.
Well, Larry's got out of jail there. I mean, I know I would have just went forward. You see, when you start digging into the cue ball at distance like that, if you don't have it right on line, that's what can happen. But what Larry just did, I would have went the safe route and just went forward and around the corner.
I would have stunned it over because it was just simple. One thing I will say this: one thing about VP versus real life is that players tend to leave more distance in VP.
Because you get away with it most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, but see, like that shot in real life, I would have never wanted that, that close to the rail at that distance. Not that I couldn't execute it, but I feel like, gee, I'm better with a cue ball than that, and I'm going to try to have the cue ball within a couple feet of that object ball. The further you get, the more chance you're going to miss the shot or not move the cue ball well, especially when you start drawing it.
I think that's maybe why it's a bad habit in VP4. And when I say a bad habit, what you're talking about, playing, happy to be playing balls from distance because most of the time you're getting away with it. And if it's in a real table, that's not necessarily the case. And I think players are into that bad habit and they stick with it. They don't endeavour to get that bit more tighter control.
I'll tell you what, if you ever watched Earl Strickland, especially when he was younger, when he got it rolling and he was playing good, I mean, the cue ball was 18 inches from the object ball, like all the time. 18 inches at 2 feet all the time. I mean, it was really amazing watching him play when he got it going because his cue ball was just incredible.
Well, that was a good break again from Larry. 2, the 4, the 5's gone. Just kill the cue ball here for the cut and the 3. I don't know whether Larry's trying to be more deliberate, the way he's tweaking around with the cue stick here, and we saw him doing that when he was lining up that shot that he tried to draw back and missing the last rack.
Well, the difference in this match has really been that, Larry's breaking and running out and Bedhead is not. Because Bedhead hasn't played, I wouldn't say Bedhead's played a lot worse than Larry, and he's down 5-2.
Well, he's coming inside.
Well, that was nice.
Well, let's have a look. He's got the room, yeah.
That was well done. I mean, that was a little tricky going in between those.
Well, here's a tricky one coming once provided he gets on to the 6 and 7. Is getting down for this 8 ball.
Well, you just, the whole thing with the rack like this is from before you hit a ball, you gotta say, okay, this is where I want to be on the 7 ball.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole rack right there, is being on the 7 the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to make a decision whether you're going to come up and try to shoot a combo or not. I wouldn't, because
no,
I would. But he's already wrong on the 6 ball.
Yeah, Yeah, you want to be someone like that so you can come off the rail and come into the short side of the 8-ball. That's who you want to be.
It's just not that simple to get the angle you want on the 7 with what he's got, and he's failed to get that angle.
Well,
now the angle he got, he can go forward. He might be able to go backwards. I think he'll go forwards, but see, that shot's a lot harder to get the speed right than if you've got an angle on the 7, you come off the long rail and you're going towards the other long rail, which slows the cue ball.
Yeah.
You're going like right at the second diamond up on the other long rail. And that's a shot that players are really good at. And he's running right at that spot I was talking about, and that was perfect. But, you know, that's not a guaranteed shot what he just shot, whereas the other one is for good players, the other one is pretty much guaranteed. They would have to.
No, I thought I was going to say he's going to go up and down, but he's just leaving it a higher cut.
He was if he was thinner he might have, but he was good enough there. He just put a little English on it. So Larry's taking it to Bedhead, which, you know, this doesn't surprise me because Larry's a very capable player. He's just got to not miss balls like he did on the 3-ball.
Yeah, it's a long way to go though. It's all very well been good at the start. It's keeping it going.
Well, Larry's break has been excellent, and here's another good one. He's got a shot. The table looks good, and the
9-ball is a problem because
the 4-ball is the problem.
Well, it's getting to the 4-ball, good in a good line to be able to make the combo.
So this is where you got to decide, how am I going to get on this 2-ball? Because you really want to get on the short side of this 4-ball. You could get behind it and shoot it back up the other table, and that's about, that's just.
Welcome to Spectre Dawn.
And I'm not sure where he's trying to go because it wasn't going to be a good spot, even if it didn't hit that 9-ball.
Well, cue ball tried to get in the way of the 2, but he might. Now, what does he do here, Steve? Does he play the
I would play safe,
7, or does he duck?
I'd probably play safe. The problem with the billiard is getting a shot on the 4-ball. I mean, it's certainly makeable. He looks like he may play the billiard, which, you just got to kind of trace the path in your mind to where that 4-ball's going. And, maybe 4 rails out into the middle of the table. But, there's 3 balls that can snooker you, and there's, this is tough if you're going to play the.
You're taking a risk. You're going to get a roll out here. That he looks as if he's banking it. He's banking it back towards him. I think that's what he looks like he's doing.
Well, if you hit that shot with a lot of right English, you could kill the cue ball.
Oh, he's nowhere near
it. He didn't. If you're going to play that shot, the way to play it is hit it with a lot of right English, so the cue ball kills, and play it at slower speed, and that way you've got the 9, 6, and 8 as blockers, because the cue ball will hold up there if you put a lot of right English on it. Slim probably knows that shot because he's a 1-pocket player. That's a typical 1-pocket type bank to hold the cue ball up like that.
Needs to keep rolling. That'll do. So Larry sort of let Bedhead head off the hook again there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't an automatic table. I mean, but that was the thing I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, that the reason guys aren't running 5, 6 racks are because when they get a table like that, they don't deal with the difficulty well. You're not going to get a wide open table every time you break. So you're going to have to run some tougher tables out. And that one, there was one problem ball, and he pretty much screwed it up right off the get-go.
Welcome to repetition.
But Larry's playing well. Let's don't make any mistake about it. I may ping him for certain decisions, but he is playing well. He's doing what he needs to do to be in this match.
So rack number 10, Bedhead trying to get on a roll here, and this 8-ball.
Oh, the 8-ball was going, and
it
then it
was
got
going.
bumped.
It was going.
I'm thinking he's going to jump this. I don't think it goes without jumping it.
Let's have a look.
Does it? Maybe it does.
Oh, you
might have to.
You get a bust through there, Steve.
He could twist it. You think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can never tell on this game with shooting by balls.
He might not do any harm here coming across and looking for a wee dungeon on this 8-ball and missing it like that.
Well,
that's perfect.
That was really well done. I mean, you know, the shot was there, but doesn't mean you're going to hit it good enough to get around that 8. That was very well done. So, you know, now he's got the same kind of issues here, this rack with the 4-ball. And,
well,
if it was me, I would try to just bring this cue ball back a little bit and then try to run it. Yeah, that's fine right there. Now he can run it this 4-7.
Well, at best, if he misses it and comes down below it, he's got a 4-5 combo. There's only like 5 feet between the two balls.
Yeah, he could play that. I would actually play to run into the 7-4 here, but I mean he could play to go behind him.
No, this looks good. Oh, that's unlucky. He wanted to catch that a bit thinner, I think.
That's okay though. He's still control of the table. He's right on top of this. He can bank this if he wants. He can play safe if he wants.
Oh, I think he's looking at the way the table is. I think he's going to go for the bank.
Yeah,
or
I
is
mean,
he going to duck? Is he having 2 minds?
There's a safety there too. You know, you cut this 4-ball off the rail and let it run towards the middle diamond on the end rail or the 8, and try to use the 9 and 6.
Well, I think
he looks like
he's stunned into the pocket here with this.
Well, if he's going to try to bank this, it's going to be short. I could tell that right away. He's just the way he was hitting that. There's no way that was going to open up.
Well, that's forced Bedhead's hand as far as the combo goes.
So this is why I say, you know, like this bank or that bank, you know, it isn't that hard. And then I watch people shoot them and they don't make them. The problem there, if I'm sitting here watching him line up and I can tell he's going to come up short before he ever hits it, that tells me that, you know, it's just a question of understanding how to hit that kind of bank shot.
Good evening or good afternoon to Dwight. Well, so this is
Dwight.
Possibly Bedhead getting off the hook again. Larry's trying to build that lead, but he's still giving Bedhead that little bit of encouragement to get back in it.
Yeah, my contention when you're in that situation and you know that's that bank. If you don't like that, then play safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to shoot that.
Well,
he had a safety play.
You know, Larry's generally always been like that most of the time. When the balls are open and there's that one ball that can make the rack, he tends to take the bait himself. He doesn't need an awful lot of encouragement.
Well, there's nothing wrong with shooting at that bank, but you know, you've
got
to make a better attempt at it than that.
Yeah, I would have run for cover.
I mean, I could tell right off the get-go, he either had to cut that more or put English on it because there's no way it was going to open up because you're putting induced left English on the object ball, which is going to hold it.
So there's going to be 2 in it. And sooner or later, you think Bedhead's going to get his break working and string a couple of racks together here and get right back into this, or possibly in the lead.
Well, there's been a ton of mistakes. Right now, I've got it 5 mistakes for Larry and 3 for Bedhead. And
ball on the side. And
Larry's ahead because he's breaking and running out. It's not, you know, it's not because he's made less mistakes.
Well, the one goes clean. Loads of room to go on the 2, and Bedhead has. Well, I'm looking at this. I mean, the good thing about this table is where the 3-ball is because the 5 is right there. So he's going to be out here. Absolutely,
he should be. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. Yeah, I'm reading Repetition's comments. Yeah, that is basically it. You're adding English in the opposite direction of the natural path.
Yeah.
But the key there is you're getting the cue ball to go sideways, and the way you do that is, you know, you can either do it with draw or you can do it with top, depending on how close the ball is to the rail. But you need the cue ball to hug the rail a little bit so that it hits the end rail, hits the side rail, and then comes back across. There's a pretty cool one pocket shot where you're banking it from like the first diamond on the guy's other side, long rail bank, and you hit that inside and high and just nail the cue ball back to the rail and do a pretty thin cut bank towards your pocket.
Well, it's a break and run from Bedhead.
Yeah, now Bedhead's getting rolling, so we'll see what happens from here. I mean, Larry has played well. But we'll see if Bedhead keeps going like this. Larry's going to have to bring something.
Well, they broke nice, but nothing went in, I don't think.
Yeah, and this has been a difference in this match is that Larry's been breaking better in Bedhead. This is a little tricky here.
How does it look from his end?
I would probably shoot this and try to bump the 3 and come off the end rail. Well, he was able to bump the 2. That's even better.
All out for the pot. That was well done.
That was really well done. Well, that was perfect.
The 4 ball, no problem. It's got plenty of room past the 8. So once again, this is a table that Larry's already saying, well, I've got to get out here. You know, there's no problems, nothing to avoid. It's just moving a cue ball.
He's already a touch funny, but you're okay here. Or you can either use English or you can use a little bit of stun. He's going to use English, which is what I would do here.
Right,
and that's perfect.
That'll do it. You just kill the cue ball stone dead. You've got your angle to get out the 6th ball into the left side as we look.
I'd probably just stop the cue ball there.
Stone dead.
I just roll this, shoot the 5, stop it, and you're right on the 6. You know. Well, he's probably going to come out now that he's got this angle. You don't have to, but he probably will because it's just more guaranteed.
I mean, he could go through and out, and he could come back into the rail and go back up to where he was and play the 6. But
no, he played it the right way. That was
the best way.
Yeah, all he had to do is roll that. So Larry is taking advantage of the fact that he's breaking better than Bedhead. I've got him at 2 more mistakes in Bedhead, and he's going to have a 2-shot lead, and it's mostly from the break.
The audience are getting excited. He's defended his lead so far. Bedhead just on his coattails there, but Larry's just running away again.
He's doing what he needs to. When Bedhead breaks dry like that, he's running out.
Yeah.
And that's what he's going to have to do.
So Larry's going actually a bit further to the right than he normally does.
Well, he's been breaking great, and this time he breaks dry. So you got to wonder if why he made that change when his brake's been working fantastic.
Well, the only good thing for Larry's case here is that there's nothing easy for Bedhead.
No, but I mean, you should be locked up here.
That one goes, by the way. I mean,
it does go, but I'd probably play safe here.
I think he's looking to bank this past the 9. It's a bit tight if that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, if he's going to bank it, he wants to just bump the 8 and keep it right there for the 2. He's going forward, so I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah, he was trying to bank it.
See, I don't get that shot unless he was trying to play a 2-way shot, a safety and a bank.
Yeah, possibly.
Because if you were trying to bank that and get position, you would have just slid the cue ball straight across and bumped the 8. He must have been playing a two-way shot.
Yeah, because I mean, he had a shot in the 2, so he's got cover behind the 5.
Which is, that is a good strategy in this game. Is if you got a shot you're not sure about, like that kind of bank shot, that playing two-way, where if you miss it, you got cover.
I don't think Larry can get enough of this one ball to bank it into the corner pocket here. That's all he's looking at, but I don't know whether he can get enough of it.
It's close, but I agree with you. I don't think he can get enough.
He couldn't get past the 5.
Well, maybe he had enough if he if the 5 ball was transparent.
I think he took his eye off the ball there. I think he was in two minds about trying to maybe squat around that 5 to maybe make the bank, but
well, he didn't hit it hard enough to bank it. So I'm not sure what he was thinking there.
Well, that's another one to Larry's collection then, Steve, if you're taking notes.
Yeah, it's a bad save.
And again, I mean, this must be the third time in the match where, Larry's defended his lead, but again, immediately in the next rack, Bedhead's going to get back into it again.
Well,
you can't get away.
You guys can all see this, what's going on here. Both these players are not missing balls. They're both running out quite a bit, but you're seeing these mistakes in playing safe or making decisions that are really hurting both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, and that's exactly how it's going. I mean, if the table's there to be run out, they're generally running out, but when it gets that little bit awkward, that's the thing, that they're not necessarily dealing with it.
Well, this is what we need to do to raise the level of play in VP, is just better decision making, learning how to play safe better, learning how to bank better. The running out part, all these guys that are championship rating, they all run out pretty good. But in real life, if you're a player that runs out easy racks, that makes you an A player. Okay. If you want to be a double A or higher, you've got to do more than just run out easy tables.
Well, over to the left-hand side, don't scratch the side pocket, and he's well away from that. Don't nail yourself to the rail, but let's have a look. He might just dink through here and take this ball this 9.
He's just going to roll this.
Or he could check it up and come out for the 9 into the right side. Yeah, that's maybe what he's doing.
Yeah, that's fine too. That's probably a better choice. I like seeing a positive stroke. Just because in real life, you've got to keep your stroke working. Oh my God.
That's going to get one of them. That was definitely one of them. And Bedhead says, help yourself, Larry.
And I'm sure Larry appreciates that.
Oh, yeah. Well, now that could be a big, big mistake. If Larry goes back to what he's been doing in his break, rather than doing a change-up when he doesn't need to, and he's still going... That's still a bit more right than he normally is. But he's coming right down more or less onto the middle diamond like that. And this looks dry as well. I didn't hear anything go. Well, look at where the one ball is.
Maybe somebody better PM him and tell him he's moved the ball out, and that's why it's not working anymore.
Well, at least he's safe. Double kiss and come back away from the one, but you might leave a bank.
That thing is frozen.
And that's why Bedhead's not playing the double kiss, because he knows that he probably would leave a bank and Larry would be in.
Now, that's not a terrible push out, because where that one ball is, this is a little tricky.
Yeah, well, Larry's not having it. Larry's gave it back.
Yeah, this, you can try to put him on a 6 ball, but that's a tricky shot from that position.
Oh, look at this line of balls here. I'd be trying to come back across.
Well, you can fire it that well. It's hard to get behind that line of balls.
Let's have a look.
That's not a bad choice there. Did he get him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. That was a fine shot. You couldn't get it behind that 6 ball very easily. I mean, it was either probably fire the bank or do what Bedhead did, which he hit that really well.
Once
That's
again,
tough when your cover's 1 ball.
The price will be costly if Larry doesn't get this safe, because the balls are all on. He's gone for the bank, and that was all or nothing. And it's nothing. Now,
Yeah.
Bedhead can still mess this up because there's traffic in the way that he's got to get to this 3 ball through. Stranger things happen.
Just so you guys know, I didn't mark that as a mistake for Larry. Even though he missed the shot, that's not any kind of, shot that's guaranteed. He didn't have a safety option there. If he would have had a safety option, then I maybe would have counted that as a mistake. But, that was probably his best play, and that's hard to call that a mistake.
That's the gap he's getting into, so he loads of room.
Yeah, he'll probably just roll this with some English.
I think he might just leave this down here and play the 4 long rather than trying to get any. Yeah. I mean, he could still get in the gap between the 5 and 8 the other way.
You just hit this with a lot of left English. You just spin the ball. I mean, this is the kind of shot you're rolling it and spinning it, and it's just going to stay there, just like that.
He's bailing out that way.
Oh, well, I would have done that every time probably in real life, because that 5 ball was huge there. Yeah. If you would have gone forward with the line, that 5 ball was, I think that's the right play.
There was the same gap this side as there was that side to get on the 3. Now that needs to come out. It needs to come out.
Shoot in the corner. He's fine.
That's what you'll have to do to get better on the 6.
Yeah, but there's nothing to do here. All you have to do is make the ball. I mean, that's anytime you got a shot where all you have to do is make the ball. Now, he kind of killed that a little, which he didn't need to do. He could have just rolled up.
Well, I believe in the cue ball right where the 6 is to give me that little angle. I think he's gone straight, but I don't think it'll do him any harm.
He's not straight. He's got enough angle here. He'll shoot the 8 in the side, and he's out. And
well, it's going to be back to 2. Welcome to Hairpig. I never noticed Hairpig there.
Yeah, Hairpig's been here. Well, he's got a ball in. He's doing a cut break.
Yeah. There's no shot though.
Nope. Man, this is, he may want to push here. He's not going to push. I think he's trying to play safe here, but this is a tricky safe. I would push from here.
I'm not sure what he's trying to do yet.
I think he's going to try to get him with a 2 ball, try to soft kill this, but this is a tough shot.
Oh, he's made the bank.
I didn't think he had enough room there to bank it. Obviously, he did. That was a great shot.
Well, I know what I'd be doing here. I'd be going across the table twice, somewhere up by in front of the 9 and over towards the 8 and 4. That's what I'd be trying.
Well, you can play you can play the bank here. There's a nice little path to go behind the 3 ball, and you've got the 7 ball there. He's going to try to play safe on the 3, and he didn't quite get there.
Well, Larry will just dink up towards the 8 ball, won't he?
Yeah, the only problem with that shot is you got to watch out for the side pocket and the speed on the 1 ball, because you really need to run into 8 and get him on the 4. You're probably not going to get him on the 6. You're talking about dinking the 2 ball or the cue ball? No, I was talking about running the cue ball.
Oh, yeah, dinking the 2 ball and running up past the 6. He's going to use the. Well, you see, what you're talking about there is what he's done. He's caught the side pocket.
Yeah, whether it's the cue ball or whether it's the 2 ball, the side pocket was. It just seems like those titties get bigger when you're trying to run by them.
Well, no problem with the 4.
Yeah, this is the shot for the rack right here. And he's hit it well, so I would expect he's out.
And he's got a nice little angle to run off the rail out into the table. Or he can just stun it. Whatever he's comfortable with.
Yeah, I'd probably stun this myself, but he's going to roll it. And that's fine too. I mean, both these guys, when they get this table, they're going to run out almost every time.
Well, right now, my prediction is still good. 1917 to Larry. But Bedhead could... he can change all of that if he gets going. Now, Friday Night 9-ball was 3 short of a full house. I don't know what the end up was when it started. But there was 13 in it the last couple of times I checked before it went live. He's just coming back off the 4.
Oh, I can tell you what you got here. Let's see. Oh, no, Saturday Night 9-ball is a full house.
Oh, Friday Night 9-ball. You're a day ahead of us,
Friday night. Whatever it is. It's a full field.
Well, that was good. So trail number 1, rack number 16. Ball goes in, 6 ball goes in. I think that was the 1 went in on the side. And the 2 ball isn't great.
Yeah, he can bank it, he can cut it in the side.
Well, he's got to go for the bank or cut it because the 3 ball's wide open, and if he gets this, he's out.
Yeah, I mean, they both work. He's going to cut it in the side.
Yeah. And just as well, he got the little double kiss off the 5 there because that's it's not hampering him so much now. And we will be all square, or am I going to put the cuffs on him?
Well, you know, Bedhead has not been breaking and running out much, and if he does start doing that, I think Larry's in trouble because Larry is making more mistakes than Bedhead is.
Just a little bump off the short rail, leave that angle. And of course, Bedhead doesn't leave the little angle, he leaves the higher angle. How tight's this 5?
I knew this guy, Arturo Rivera, that he left so much angle on shots that you would think that he was getting out of line and not moving the cue ball well. But after you played him for a while, you'd realize that he's playing for those spots.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2 rails in behind the 9, or does he dig into this one as well? Because you can just let this spin and come around and out.
Yeah, I would go forward with this. Digging into it when it's right on the rail there, the speed's kind of, I'd go, between the 9 and the rail.
He's digging in. I would have just let this spin around.
Yeah, I would have gone forward with this for sure. Well, you hit it good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I would always go, 2, 3 rails there in behind the 9 and out.
But it's just a simpler shot. A lot of things can go wrong with that shot he shot.
Well, he could have scratched the side.
You could scratch. You could not hit it hard enough and leave yourself a back cut. I mean, it's, you could run into the 9-ball. There's all kinds of things that could happen.
Well, this is the first time Bedhead's been in level terms since 0-0, as far as I can recall, unless it was 1-1. It was 1-1, wasn't it? Because they shared the racks. Yeah.
Let's see if he takes a whack at this. Cut the 1 ball in the right corner and billiard the 9.
I would play a 2-1 shot, Steve. Here, I would just, play the 1 and run into the 9 for the combo. But it's a partial safety shot as well, isn't it? If you miss the 7, you can try and get the cue ball in amongst the 3 ball.
You might get lucky. I wouldn't play a combo. I would just cut the 1 in the corner because it's sitting perfect to billiard the 9. you cut the one straight into the corner and billiard the 9-ball.
Well, yeah.
Safety's never a bad option. I mean, the safety's a little bit funny here.
No, I don't know what he's doing. I have no
I
clue
think
what he's thinking here. He's dug right into the cue ball.
I think he's maybe trying to go between the 9 and 3.
Oh, that
Yep,
was
he
well
did.
done. I know he needs to
Except
stay
for this
behind
part
us.
of it.
He needs to stay behind the 6. And I tell you, he can't get it.
Well, I don't get that shot because not that pocketing the 1 was so tough,
I would
but
have been
getting
playing
on
the
the 2 ball was. Yeah, I would have played the 1 and the billiard. If you didn't like the cutting the 1, you didn't like if you didn't like the billiard with the cutting the 1, you could always taken a different piece of it and rolled it or done whatever.
Now he needs the cue ball to come out.
Hit that good.
It needs to come out, and it hasn't. He's going to have to bail out again. A longer jump this time.
This one's a little tougher jump shot to keep the cue ball on the table. Like for me, if I'm jumping this, I'm playing safe. I'm trying to just hit the 3 ball and get safe. Maybe bank the 3 into the 9 and try to get the cue ball going over towards the 6. The problem with trying to cut this kind of shot is that's how you lose the cue ball off the table. I think he's thinking about kicking at this, which is not a bad idea. But I would kick off the side rail because I think he's got a better chance of getting safe doing that. This is your best chance is making it.
He needs to get this before that diamond, doesn't he? He needs to get that sort of there. Yeah, he's got it. And unlucky.
Yeah, he didn't make it. That route was none of it was easy. He was in a tough spot.
Well, he's going to roll the 3 up the table. Was he going to play the combo? Just roll the 3 up the table. So, Bedhead had his chance here to take the lead, but he's thrown it back to Larry. Where can this go wrong?
It would be hard for it to go wrong.
Well, he's got to come out behind the 7. Can he hold this? Yes. See, there you go. I mean, that's what I talk about. That's what I talk about. Little dinky shots.
Yeah, but that's what we've seen out of Larry. Did you see how fast he shot that? I mean, his Q-tip wasn't even done moving when it pulled back. I didn't even think that was possible in VP4.
He just seemed desperate to get rid of the shot. I mean, to me, you spin in behind the 7 and miss the 9, and you're up on top of the 7 into the left pocket.
I don't know if that's nerves or carelessness or what, because
well, the angle he had in the 6 here, it was difficult to hold for the 7 into the opposite pocket, wasn't it? So you let the cue ball do its thing, and if need be, you help it on its way.
Yeah. Well, he could have gone forward in between the 7 and 9. He could have drawn it and let it slide across and shot the 7 in the same pocket. He had 2 easy choices there, and instead he tried to hold a cue ball that was going to be hard to hold.
What's Cobra saying? Did you not hear about my deal that I did with Stubb? You must have heard about my deal. Anyway, Larry. Well, that's a shocking error by Larry. I don't know. I mean, he's just shown those signs of careless shots at the wrong time.
Well, but that was one of the keys for him to win, was to not do that.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. I mean, you take your medicine, you play the shot that you would play every other day of the week. You just let the cue ball roll behind and out, miss the 9, or even catch half the 9 the other way, and you're still on the 7, no problem. But
yeah,
Bedhead into the lead for since rack 1, and Larry's shot himself right in the foot there. How much is he going to regret it now? That's the question.
Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking Bedhead overthinks things, outthinks himself, because he's made quite a few mistakes with the cue ball where he snookered himself in this match. Because he's really played pretty good, and it's a close match. Larry's made a lot more mistakes than him.
Well, he's made a couple that you just think, well, and both of the shots that he's missed, as you said, and everybody's seen, he's sort of looked at the shot, not really set himself, and boom, the shot's played, and of course then missed.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened there.
At least twice this match. It's interesting because I think everybody understands make, and you do all these great things, and then you dog the 8 or 9 ball and you lose. Everybody understands that. Everybody's done it. Everybody sees it, and everybody understands that it doesn't matter how many great shots you make if you dog the 8 or 9 ball and lose. What I don't think everybody thinks about is decision making. You can make good. That one bad decision is going to lose you the rack just as fast as missing the ball is going to.
Yeah.
That's the mistakes I'm seeing out of the better players. I'm not seeing them miss tons of balls, but I'm seeing them make mistakes, decision making, strategy, how to move the cue ball.
Well, here's a decision. Bedhead's got the 2 rack lead now, and that 1 ball's crying out to be cut up the table past the 9.
I wouldn't do that. I'd play safe here.
Well, I think Bedhead is being the VP4 type player. See a ball and pot it, and he's then got to hope he sees the 2.
If you're confident that you're making it, then there's nothing wrong with shooting it. I mean, there's easy safety here.
Now, is he trying to see if this will go? Is he trying to see if this will go past the 5 and try and keep the cue ball this end of the table?
I would bank this thing like at the 4 ball and let the cue ball come back up towards the 2 ball. There's a little risk there that you could slop the 4 in. Ideally you'd want to be able to get by it, but
yeah, he's trying to see if it will miss the 5. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but that was not well played. He didn't get the cue ball to come back. That's why I was saying I would have banked it shorter than that, made sure I got the cue ball back behind the 2. He tried to get the 1 ball past the 5. He should have run the 1 ball at the 4 because it was an easy angle to get on the 2 ball.
Well, here's a shot I like the idea of him. If Larry's playing the pot in the 1, he can run the cue ball, maybe a bit of left English. He needs to stun it a bit, though, to get it to work, to get the cue ball around the table and maybe duck for cover if he doesn't get the 1. He's looking for control of the table here off this 1 ball if he pots it.
Yeah, he's going forward, and he's hit it good.
Needs to go, and that's beautiful. That's excellent.
He's hit it good.
Now again, looking at this shot, you have loads of angle to work with, so you just dig it in and come up, and make sure you're high enough. If he leaves it short, he shouldn't have much of a problem either, but he doesn't want to leave it too short and interfere with the 5. Loads of room, let the cue ball run. Wee bit of left on it. He doesn't want to end up too close to the rail, though.
Yeah, I don't think he needed any left.
Well, he doesn't want to run too close to the rail. You see, he is the other side of the 4, and now he's got loads of room here. This is not a problem. Just dink, and then 5 into the same pocket.
He didn't need any left on that 2 ball. He could have just hit it with straight top.
No. He's trying to hold it for the side.
People will do that, and then they'll end up scratching, and then they'll think, oh, that's unlucky because it was such a slim angle. It's hard to scratch, but it's like, why run it at the side pocket in the first place?
Well, this time, Larry has been let off the hook now. He just needs to leave the cue ball right there.
Yeah, it was just a bad safety by Bedhead, and that's why that safe game's so important. It's just like missing a ball. You know, you play a bad safety, it's just like missing a ball. Hairpig sounds like he's working for a living.
So, rank number 20. The match has been going for an hour and, 8 minutes or 7 minutes? 8 ball on the side, 1 ball follows it in. Bump with the 3 on the cue ball and the 2 balls in play.
That was a good break.
And
this is just natural to go forward with top right English.
Now, what does he do here? Does he try and bump? Does he try and get crazy and bump the 7 and 4, or does he play sensible here? No.
Now he's going backwards. I would go forward on this every time. If you did bump the 4, it'd be fine, but I would go forward because here's why. Because then you have an angle back on the 3 where you can pull the 4 back and shoot the 4 in the corner that you just shot the 2 ball in.
Well,
he's more funny.
This is going to be long. I mean, he's just going to duck in behind the 6 here or stun it
Yeah,
across.
He's going to have to shoot the 4 up table, or that's what he should be doing here. But this is just a lot touchier as far as getting on it, and he's hit it good.
Well, now he's got to, take a good chunk of the 7 and push it out the way and go forward to open up the angle on the 5.
And this shot's tricky. This is like a stun run that you got to hit with some speed because that 7's really going to slow the 4 ball down. But you've got to stun it enough that it doesn't drive through. You got to hit this with a little bit of speed. You don't want to hook yourself on the 7. You got to get it to move out of the way.
He certainly doesn't want to be gentle and just skim the 7 and hook himself.
There's no skimming here, but you got to hit it hard enough that it moves. Well, now he's coming back.
Well, I don't understand that at all.
Again, every single shot he's missed, he moves the cue stick.
Yeah.
Replay that. Watch how fast he shoots after the tip is down.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, the Q-tip hasn't even stopped, and it looks like the Q's coming back.
I don't know. Larry just seems nervy. He just seems to be tweaking and twitching on the. Shots that demand a little bit of touch and control. He just seems to be jabby.
I will say this about nerves, is that one of the things that happens when people get nervous is they try to hurry up and get the shot over.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
And I've been in that position. I've had it cost me a lot of money before. And you want to be calm and not, rushing to get it over with. That's if you're feeling like that, you got to tell yourself, take a couple deep breaths, take your time, and don't hurry.
There's just that's what three strange ways of going about the shot. It just got me a bit baffled the way Larry's doing that. And this is not a gimme either. I mean, that 6 ball was not a gimme.
That's a barker. It's not a gimme, but that wasn't even close.
Well, Larry's got to play the bank because the 9 balls makes it quite a big pocket if he gets a chunk of the 9. I think he's got to go for it, considering he thought he'd lost the rack. He can't refuse this, I don't think.
You can play safe here. Put the 6 ball on the end rail and the 9 ball or the cue ball on the other end rail.
Well, the problem is if he does bank it though, where's the 7 ball going?
Up table. You bank this in the side, shoot the 7 ball up table. But I'd consider playing safe here. It's a pretty natural safety. Yeah. Well, I mean, he took advantage of the big pocket with the 9 ball there, but this is not any good. I guess that's stating the obvious.
Well, he's got to. Let's have a look. He can jump and bank this, but it's last chance saloon, really. No other option, I don't think.
Well, if you jump and bank this, at least you got a chance of getting safe here. I mean, you're going to have to get a little bit lucky. There's no automatic.
Well, if it runs to the bottom rail, it's checked up.
Yeah. But he may have played that. He may have been playing that as a safety, and that if he did, that's a pretty damn good shot.
Really?
I wouldn't call that a bad safe. I mean, obviously he left a shot, but that was a tough situation.
Yeah, not easy.
And this is not guaranteed by any means. I mean, he can still win this game. I think Bedhead will make this, but no guarantees here.
Well done. Oh dear.
And he didn't.
I thought that was
he didn't make it. He hit it pretty good. You couldn't hit it much better than that, not have it going.
Well, again, Larry's been let off the hook. Oh, hang on a minute though. Oh dear. Well, I'm going to play two of them this time. Where is he? Where's John? I'm a bit late.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh yeah, semi-pro. I see pros make mistakes. Maybe in a match like this, they'd make a one decision mistake, do it outside, not like 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever these are going to be. It's not the fact that everybody makes the mistakes. It's the quantity.
Well, Larry's trailing again by 2. Bedhead's come up dry. Little combo in the 6.
Yeah, this table's actually sitting pretty good here. Smart move using a 9 to control the speed of the cue ball. This shot, well, he can shoot the 2 in either corner pocket, so he's okay here. He's going to go that way, which I think is a smart move.
Let's keep an eye on Larry on certain shots when they come up and see if he's up to the same trick again sometime in this match. Let's see. I mean, we'll know when it gets to it because we'll know it's a slightly touchy shot.
Yeah, like that one, he moved it down and stroked fairly fast, but not as fast as some of the ones I've seen.
Right. So
I think when he's doing that, here's the thing: is if you're putting English on the cue ball, especially if you're jacked up, there's no way that you can rely on that pivot English to do what you want. So when you move the Q-tip, you have to aim.
That looks good. That looks perfect.
Unless you're the kind of player that sees the aim with where you want to put the Q-tip. In other words, the Q-tip's in the middle of the ball, but you see the aim for putting, some kind of English on it. And then that's the only way you could move it that fast and shoot and be aimed correctly is if you had adjusted the aim for the English before you move the tip.
Oh, here we go again.
Which I don't think most people in VP4 do that.
Get up high on the right side. That's the object of the lesson in this shot. And that again is heading the wrong direction. Oh dear.
That's the same thing. And people go, oh, unlucky. That's not unlucky. It's like you ran the cue ball right at the pocket.
Stub, did you see your flag? If you didn't, I'll show you. I'll show you after this though. Again, this is not a difficult 8-ball. I look at this shot, I see the shot, I play it. I don't hang about thinking about it because you're getting this 9.5 out of 10 every day. He's overcut it. He's overcut it. I'll tell you, the eyes are going, Larry. Definitely, that was not a difficult 8-ball, and I think he's just getting a bit jittery.
Yeah, if you're playing on the kind of table where you hit the long rail, you're going to hang up, then you might overcut it like that. Look at this.
Hang on a minute. Larry's got out of jail for about the 5th time.
But that's not these tables. With these tables, he could have hit at least a diamond up and been fine there.
This is. I was going to say this could be pivotal, but every rack could be pivotal the way things are happening here. I don't know how this is going to go now. Now Larry's chasing down Bedhead.
I mean, they're both making a lot of mistakes. There's no doubt about it.
Right. Let me see if that's it. There's your flag stub.
How about that? You know, it's looking like Bedhead is trying to catch up to Larry as far as mistakes. Right now, I've got it as 10 to 7. Larry 10, Bedhead 7. And the difference for Larry has just been that, you know, he's the break's been better for him.
Right, now, let's have a look at this mess.
Yeah, this is truly a mess.
Let's have I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going 1, 2, and I'd be cutting the 1. I wouldn't be worried where the 1's going, because I'm trying to get cover, and I'd be running down in amongst this lot in the corner here. And Larry's got that idea. Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. They've been behind the 2 there if that hadn't brushed the 1.
Yeah, when you get a table like this, what you have to think about is how you're going to play the 3 ball. You ought to be deciding right up front where you're going to put the cue ball
to get this
to either make a shot, make a play on with this 3, or play safe. I mean, there's a pretty easy billiard onto the 6 ball if you think you can come up with a shot on the 3.
Yep, the billiard looks good.
But you know, you've got to know that you're going to get a shot on the 3. You know, there's several kinds of safeties you can play there. If you get this behind the 3 ball, you just run the 3 into the 7 and pin it on the 4, send the 3 up table.
This is a bit thin, this, to try and do anything here. Yep, it's way too thin. So he's now going to put a bit of left English on this, brush the 3 and duck behind.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I like that shot. I might try to pin him on the 7. The problem with the pin on the 7 shot, though, is that you may make a ball.
Oh, I'd be.
I mean, the 4 may come off the back of the 5.
Oh no, I'm tweaking this every day. I'm just spinning that a feather edge of the 3, and I'm just dinking to the rail and let the English just take me in there.
I mean, that's a good shot.
He might not even need English. You might just need to dink it and bump it high enough.
You just got to be you got to be confident that you're going to hit it good. Well, see, and remember what I was saying off the back of the 5 ball?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying about the safety that you can make it. But I would have shot that to pin the cue ball on the 7. But that was the risk, is that's gone.
Well, the question here is, did he see that 4 ball going in? You know, did he play for that 4 ball to come in? He's going to play the combo now. He's got to play the combo.
Well, he does play 1 pocket, but that's playing off the back of a ball it's certainly not a very guaranteed shot, because he didn't get safe with the cue ball.
This is absolutely stone dead, this combo, apart from the gap between them and the distance for the cue ball.
Yeah, you just, you got to come up with a shot. You're better off cutting a 6 a little too much and having the 3 go towards the 9.
Oh, now, hang on a minute. This 7 ball's coming into play.
Well, I thought he'd come down on the other side of the 7.
Well, this is a really touchy shot. He's trying to dink behind the 9. I think if he cuts that, if he catches the 3 and it catches the 9, this side of the 9, he can duck behind the 9.
That's very difficult. I mean, that's probably not happening. I would be kicking at this and trying to stick the cue ball maybe.
Oh no, I think he'll be thinking about what I'm thinking.
Well, I doubt he's going to get there with that shot. You have to bump the 9, and the 9 has to come out off the rail to get that hook, because it's not going to go behind the 9. Maybe you could hit it real slow and get it to freeze on the 9.
Well, I'm looking at the line that the 3's hitting the 9. If you're cutting that 3, it's catching the 9 and going that way, and you're leaving the cue ball in there somewhere.
But the problem is the cue ball is going to want to roll forward. So this is very difficult to get him on the 9. He's either got to hit it real slow and get it to freeze on the 9, or he went the other way.
I don't know
I'm not sure what he was doing there, but that's just a gift here, because
yeah. I mean, my shot, I would have played that shot, because I mean, my eyes are telling me I can get there. I would have played it, but it needs a nice little touch. It needs a nice gentle touch to be. And again, if your mouse is dialed in, you'll play that. You won't think about it.
I'm telling you, that was a hard shot to get a snooker on that 9.
I wish I had a shot there. I'd have played it.
Well, you can practice that later. I mean, probably your best bet is bumping the 9 so that the 9 comes back off the rail and does a snooker. Trying to get behind that was going to be tough.
Well, it doesn't matter. Larry's back in level terms again. Here we go, folks. Welcome to Vertical Liquid. Now, how many have we got? We've got 25 watching the stream. Welcome, everybody. All those that are sitting there quiet, paying no mind, not getting involved with semi-pro and Stubbs war that's going on in the chat.
Well, now it's 10-8 mistakes because I'm counting that as a mistake. That was a bad safety.
Oh, it was strange. Now, up the table, does the 4 go past the 7? Yes, it does.
Yes.
So up the table, high enough.
So you would think that Larry will run this out. If he gets on this 4, he should be out.
He's got to get there, though, Larry. You've got to get. I mean, this is where you wanted to be, so that you're cutting the 4 and playing the 5 into the corner.
Well, the thing is you could have gone a little long and been fine. Short's not good. He's going to have to bump the 5 now, which is there. You just need to make sure you bump the 5 towards the corner pocket.
Well, he's got to be careful he doesn't go down your route and thinking about bumping the 5 rather than not thinking enough about potting the 4, because this 4 needs to be thin cut.
Well, I mean, the way you adjust this is with English. See, he didn't do that. He could have rolled out and bumped the 5, and the way you adjust the angle there is with English to decide the line the cue ball is going to go on.
He's got a full pocket there. He just needs to ignore the 7 and play this 5, because it goes, no problem. He's got more. He can use the far jaw. He needs to watch the 7, though. He needs to watch the 7. Oh dear.
Boy, that was
again such a huge margin of error to get that cue ball out into the table past the 7. And now he's having to bail out.
I might have to revise my scoring system for you guys. Because my scoring system, I don't count that kind of thing as a mistake. But the thing is, I don't do stuff like that hardly ever. Between him and Bedhead, they've hooked themselves so many times.
Well, Larry stretched the lead there again, hasn't he, in terms of errors? But I don't know.
Well, I didn't count that as an error.
Oh, he got there. The fact they had to jump.
Well, I still wouldn't count it as error because those kind of cue ball mistakes, I don't count as errors when I'm playing. I always count my errors, but I don't count those because I don't do stuff like that.
Did I count them in the Fargo rating, Steve?
No, the Fargo rating is all based on winning and losing. The strength of your opponent. It's kind of like the ratings in virtual pool. It's just based on the strength of your opponent and whether you won or lost.
Well, Larry's won. What, 3 in a row? Or 2 in a row, is it? I'm losing track here. But anyway, he's in the lead. Again. And a ball in the break. But there's the 2 balls stuck together again. The 9 ball has
that was a shit rack, but that's a good roll there. Look at that roll.
Wow.
So
now he's got the push out.
Well, this is the push I do. Push up on the end rail because getting to the 2 ball is very difficult. The only problem with pushing up on the end rail is you may give the guy a shot at the 9 ball. So you got to decide whether you're willing to live with that or not. But that's a simple play is push it up here on the end rail, so there's a back cut on the 1. It's very difficult to get to the 2. And at this point, you could play pushing out where you're pushing out to a kick on the 1. If you think your opponent doesn't know how to play that shot or he doesn't kick well, you could have pushed to a simple kick on the 1. I kind of like this, although I would have rather seen it closer to the end rail.
Now, what do you do here? Do you cut this past the 8 ball to the short rail and get it in a line with the 4, 8, 9 and leave the cue ball over where the 1 is?
I'd be thinking about playing safe. It's kind of tricky running the cue ball past the 8 here.
No, I'm talking about sending
on the 1.
I'm talking about sending the 1 past the
8. You could do that.
Maybe not. I don't like.
The problem with that is that
the more I
corner
look at
pocket's there if you just roll it.
Yeah,
that's the shot I was talking about. See, he hit that really well.
Yeah, but it doesn't leave. it doesn't leave Larry in a whole heap of trouble. He can get to the one, no problem. And of course, the danger here for Larry is playing this the wrong side of the one and bumping the two into play. If he wants to back himself here, he doesn't want to be running into the
if you were
6 or
confident
the
of the
2.
line and you thought you could do it, you could have hit that harder and brought the cue ball up against those. But that was a little tricky getting it to slide by the 8 there. I mean, that was a well played shot.
Well, Larry's gone hell for it now. He needs to brush off the 9, but it's going to hit it full in the face, and now he's dead in the water.
But, I mean, you could have predicted that even if you left him the jump shot, there was no guarantee he was getting on the 2.
No. I'm surprised Larry took the bait, though,
This may cut in the corner here.
Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see enough of it, and yes, it does cut. Now he needs to get a nice kiss.
Oh, that was a nice kiss.
Well, there's a bonus.
There's a nice kiss.
Let's watch the replay of
That's
that
a commentator's eye right there, Hugh.
Look at that.
You said he needs a nice kiss, and you got it.
We never saw that coming.
Wow.
Larry types "oh" in the chat. Oh dear.
Hey, well, you know what? To win these matches, sometimes you need stuff to go your way, and it certainly did there.
Well, I don't think Larry got anything going there. He's dry again, and it's a combo.
He's dry, and this is a pretty good looking rack. I mean, the 4 ball, those balls all close together. That's a little tricky. Wow.
Well, Larry's got a 2-rack lead now. This is
you run the cue ball into the 5 ball here. Make sure that it stays there. Okay, he did that. That's fine too. You just got to make sure you got a shot on that one.
Well,
that was well played.
I'm looking at where he is. He's right over the 4. He's got to jab down and get this
fine.
running. Yeah.
Well,
he's going to run,
but that's
way
too
inside.
much. Yeah. Wow. Well,
I'm getting nervous watching this.
Well, he's going to run into the 5 ball here. If he hits it easy, he might run into the 4. I think it might slide in at slower speed and bump the 4. I don't know if he can bump it towards the pocket. I think he's going to catch it fuller than that. Yep.
Now it needs to bounce. Well, here we go. This is another testy one. I mean, there's no problem getting the 5, but it's Larry overthinking these, because this shot, you see the pot, you play it, and you just let the cue ball come out. Now he's looking around the table at all sorts of things. What the hell is he looking at?
Things are going Larry's way right now. Well, the biggest problem he's got is if he leaves a cut on the 5, the 8 ball's in the way there.
Yeah.
To get up table. And so, you've either got to accept that and have a plan to deal with that.
Well,
or
I think he's underhit that. Yeah. Well,
I think with the angle he's got here, he can go behind that 8 ball.
Well,
this is tricky.
Oh, I'm not quite as convinced because it's such a thin cut.
Well, the problem with it is not landing on the 9 ball. This is just a little spinner. Spin it behind the 8 ball. But the real problem is running into the 9 ball. I think if he spins it a lot, he can miss it. He just went straight into it, which is going to work out, I think.
Well, now this is one where he can come around into the gap.
Well, again, this is a spinner. This is just a lot of right English and spin it.
Now, the only thing that would worry me about this shot is getting into the cue ball too much, and actually you're still maybe trying to spin it, but he doesn't want to finish in amongst the 8 ball here with this.
That would be hard to do at this angle. I would just put max spin on this, hit it easy, and just let it spin over.
Well, he's got
if you don't spin this enough, you run into the 7 ball.
Yeah, he's got a tiny
just
tad
like that.
Right, not enough on it.
Well, you need to put a lot of spin on that to get it to open up and go in that gap.
Well, he's landed plumb in a billiard here.
I mean, he's probably going to shoot it. I'm not sure where he's going to shoot the 7 after this. I mean,
the 7's good. Let's have a look. The 7's going to be somewhere over here, so he'll be unlucky not to have a shot on it. No, he doesn't.
I
He's
don't.
not doing it.
I think he's got to hit that 7 a lot thinner than that, Hugh.
Now, I don't know
To
whether
make
he
this
is.
billiard, you got to hit the 7 pretty thin.
I don't know. Again, he's lining up too thick to play the billiard. He looks as if
Well,
he's playing the bank.
you can play safe here and put him on the 8 ball. He's playing the bank. And he hit it pretty good, but not good enough.
Now it's one of these.
Yeah, well,
really,
but the mistake made there was on that 6 ball. You know, he needed to juice that up with English
to get out of there. Yeah, to get out of there into a better line for the next shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been hard to even hit the 8 ball. If he did, he would have just brushed it.
No, hitting the 9 was the general idea there. So he's going to have to juice this up. Get right into the cue ball here. To get over right side.
All right. Well, I'm giving Larry a mistake for that miss on the bank.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, is he on the point? Is he on the point?
I don't. I think he can see it. I think he can see it.
Yes, he can just see it. Oh, he's a jammy get. Just no more.
It's a game of 1/16 of an inch. Oh, that 8 ball was going. All right, I'm going to take a bathroom break.
Yep. So Larry, still 1 in front. Now, what does he do here? Let's have a look. Well, not much, because he can't see the 1. So push out. He hasn't chose it yet, but that's what he will be doing. Well, he's not going to leave a bank, and well, that's just left debate for Bedhead ahead, hasn't it? Is Bedhead going to play the little jet? I mean, I'm expecting him to get this because it's a good line on the 1 to the 7. You know, you just play to pot the 1 into the right hand jaw, and I think you're going to knock the 7 in anyway. Well, it's a little bit of bait, so is Bedhead going to take the bait? I think he is. And Larry will get his reward from it. Although he's going to be hard pushed to squeeze that 1 in there. I think it's tightish. He might have to play the billiard and just bank the 1 up across the table. No, he's convinced he can get it. If this hits the 7 first, it may well just catch the point and stay there. No, he's played the billiard and he's done what I said. Doesn't want the 1 to go in though. And he'll probably just take his medicine here, just bump out for the straightish 2 ball. Well, he's come out and he's given himself a lot more angle than he wanted.
All right, I'm back. Did I miss any mistakes?
Well, Bedhead, Larry pushed out. Larry pushed out to sort of there and left the 1 ball and the 7 ball. They were dead set pretty much as a bank, but Bedhead was slightly inside it. Bedhead did take the bait, but he left the 7 ball hanging, and Larry to play a little billiard to knock the 7 in off the 1.
Well, that was a well played shot right there.
Well, it was, considering how he left himself.
A little bit of inside English and
well,
now, go around.
He just needs to get into the cue ball again to get this 4 into this side pocket here.
That's what I would be thinking, a side pocket.
Again, he's tight. He's setting himself up right now. He's digging in. You know, he's coming the other way for the short side. I would have just stunned up the table here because it's wide open country here.
That's what I was thinking too. But he hit it good. He's in a good spot.
You overhit that, you end up behind the 8.
Yeah.
And now he has to be good on the 5 to get I mean, this 6 ball is really awkward. I mean, you don't want to try and get really cute down in the
Well,
bottom rail here.
this is just a little soft draw on this 4. You've got your choice of whether you want to go to the bottom rail or not on the 6. I probably would go to the bottom rail on it because you hit that little fat, next thing you know, it hits the 9. He's left himself an angle, which, you know, I'd run this down to the bottom.
Well, that's what I think.
He may not.
I think that's what you're going to have to do, is you're going to leave it there to try and thin cut the 6.
Well, if you are going to thin cut the 6, you want to hit it with inside English to make sure there's no chance you're going to hit the 9.
No, that looks a nice pace. That's perfect.
No,
perfect.
That was perfect. Yep. So
again, get out far enough on this 8 ball. He might have left himself. Let's have a look. Yeah, well, he's fine.
Yeah, he's you know, he's doing it too at this wreck. You know, this is a perfect for a draw. He's going to just be safe about it. I would have drawn that back more.
Again, he just seems to sort of not go through with the shot enough there to me.
He just hit that like he was scared. He wasn't going in the side or corner. It would have drawn back to the side rail, but he was just being extra cautious.
Tentative, yeah. Well, the amazing thing is we'll still get 25 people watching the stream.
And Larry's playing a very good match. I mean, this is really what he's needed to do. He has made a couple of those.
Oh dear! Look at the 9. Now he needs to see the 1, and he has.
He
now this is a shot. He can't hook himself behind the 3. That's going to be fatal. Because he's got the 2-9. The 2-9 is tightish, but
I don't know if he's going to be able to play the 2-9. The shot here is to slide the cue ball across and shoot the 2 in the other corner.
Yeah, because he's got way too much angle to hold this.
It's just too hard to get on it. I would just play that and 2, 3, 4, and then shoot the combo.
Let's see. Well, he's got the 2 right lead. And he's got that nice.
Hit it perfect. Larry's played really well. He's had a couple of his misses that everybody kind of cringes, but you know, I think there's been 3 of those, which is not that bad because I've seen him miss a lot more. I mean, he's played a good match.
Well, if he's going to come good, it's happening at the approaching the business end of the match.
Yeah,
and he's for a 3-rack lead.
That's perfect there. I mean, really not a whole lot to go wrong. Stop shot, stop shot, stop shot.
4 into the opposite side, or is he going? Yeah. He's not going to bail out and run up the table.
No, you just stop shot here, just like that.
Yeah, 6-9 combo.
Yeah. So, well, where he is now, I'll probably go forward. You probably just roll this. Yep. And that's well done. So Larry's had quite a few break and runouts. I mean, he's definitely broken run out better than Bedhead. His break's been better than Bedhead the whole match.
This could break the back of the match here if Larry gets this one going.
Well, the closer he gets to 19, the tougher it's going to be for Bedhead. There's 3 balls in the side pocket.
I wish I had slow motion to show you this.
And he didn't come up with a shot.
1, 2, 3.
He left the cue ball. This is where you don't want the cue ball. He drew it all the way back down the table. You know, that was just, and that's where you need a little squat. I know Larry doesn't like to hit the squat shot, but you know, you don't want to draw it that hard.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a push out.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but I would think that would be the best play.
I think that's going to give him better odds here. But you know, the thing is, the push out.
I'd push this up to the corner pocket.
Yeah, the push out.
I would definitely push this to the corner pocket.
The chances are he may well be put back in because if Larry plays this to distance here, it's touchy to play that 1 ball.
Well,
and
I'll
get
tell
the
you
cue
why.
ball safe, let alone the 1 ball.
I'll tell you why I push it to the corner pocket, because that is how you're going to get it back. And I think you
Yeah.
want to get it back here.
Yeah.
If you push this to the middle of that rail, then the guy's going to play safe. So
Let's see what Bedhead
what
does.
I would probably do is try to hit this 1-8 straight on and stun the cue ball towards the 9. Try to get safe. Try to go behind the 9 ball or 7 ball.
Well, Larry's got it back.
Now that shot's tricky because it's hard to get the one to just sit. You've got to hit it just dead on that 1-8 to get the 1 ball to sit. If it moves a little bit towards the side rail, you're okay. You got to hit this with some speed because you're trying to stun it sideways or almost sideways. I would never have done that. He may get lucky. Yeah, that was, or that's getting marked as a mistake. You know, you knew you were going to get it back if that was your plan from, you know, you should know the shot you're going to shoot when you push out, when it's coming back to you. And that was not the right shot.
Well, 1 ball goes into the side. It's very tight. It's a blind pocket shot, more or less.
I'd be putting this cue ball right behind the 9 if it was me.
Well,
There's no way I'd shoot this. I would just stun this behind the 9.
I think he's going for the pot. No, he's not. Now that you look at it at that angle.
No, he's scoping back to the 7. That's fine too.
That's dirty. That is dirty.
That's a fine shot there.
Yeah,
that was well played. But you know, this is Larry's own fault. He's in this situation by, you know, that was just the wrong play. I thought he pushed out to a fine spot, but that had very little chance of getting safe.
Yeah, as you said though, that, you know, the chances are he was going to get put back in by Bedhead, and it was a touchy shot to try and play the shot and get safe.
Yeah, but he played the wrong shot because that shot that he was playing was, you know, the 1 ball was just going to go a bad direction. The shot I was talking about, you're trying to get the 1 ball to sit or move to the side rail, and then you got 2 balls, you're headed for cover. And if you don't get cover, then, you know, he's still got not a guaranteed shot on the 1.
He's not much room to go out of there, but he's got the hit.
That was very well done there. That was a good hit there.
Well, now it's definitely a 1 ball game.
Well, if this is me, I'm rolling that 1 ball up and down the table, bringing the 1 ball right back down to the end rail and taking the cue ball off the side rail behind the 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's sitting perfect for that. You know, it's sitting perfect for the speed and to roll this to go right behind the 7.
Now that looks like what he's doing.
Yeah, and this is a good shot because even if you don't get him behind the 7, you're leaving him on the end rail. Well, he didn't hit it hard enough.
Yes, he did.
Well, he got there though.
Yeah, that's well done.
What I mean by hard enough was the 1 ball.
Yeah, but
although he may have done that on purpose just to hold this cue ball more.
Well, Larry's going to have to use the old bailout technique. He's not got a lot of room, but he's going to do it.
I don't like jump cues. You know, the only reason jump cues haven't been banned at the pro level is because the fans like them. You know, the players don't like them. I can tell you that right now. If it was up to the players, they would ban jump cues.
Well, oh, what a shot! What a shot!
Oh my God!
What a shot!
Let's watch
that was shot of the match there. That was something else.
Wow.
That was a phenomenal shot.
Well, it was a crap position in the 2 ball, though, wasn't it? Try to be critical.
I'll say this about jump cues. The greatest player ever doesn't use a jump cue. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
That it shouldn't be in the game of pool.
Well, this is a big rack now that Larry's buried that 2 ball. That was some shot. I mean, it can only be 4 racks in front.
Oh, that was just huge. I mean, that was an incredible shot. I mean, it's difficult to cut the ball when you're jumping because you actually have to aim a little thick, because when the ball is in the air and it hits the other ball, and I don't care whether it flies or bounces, whatever, but when the ball is in the air and it hits the other ball, it cuts it more because you're hitting up on a smaller diameter. So when I play those kind of shots in real life and I'm cutting the ball, I always aim thick, because unless the cue ball comes down where it's on the table, where it's hitting the object ball, it's going to cut more than it normally would.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a very difficult shot.
Well, sound like 2 or 3 balls in the break here for Larry. Yep, the 2's gone, the 6, the 8's gone. He's not got a great shot in the 1.
Who's the greatest ever? Efren Reyes.
Well, Efren Reyes doesn't. He wouldn't know one end of a jump cue from another.
He's never used a jump cue.
You'll never see him with one.
I've never even seen him practice with one. I've never ever seen him hit a single shot with a jump cue. I mean, I'm sure he's tried them, but he does not use a jump cue.
No, that's too much work, semi-pro. That's for people who like editing and doing crap like that, and I'm not technically gifted enough to be bothered about that, and it's too much time and effort to do it, I'm afraid. I'd love to do it, but it's too much time.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but he's left the bait. Maybe that was the plan, Steve.
That wasn't a push out. That was the worst. That was a terrible safety. He's getting a mistake for that safety.
Well, I think it's leaving the bait for Bedhead.
Bedhead's hitting it with this with English, which I don't think you had to do.
Watch
but
where
he
the
hit
cue
it
ball
great.
goes. It's fine. Well,
yeah. I mean, the way he was hitting it was guaranteeing he was going to get the good line. Yeah, that's just.
Has Larry just give Bedhead encouragement to get back into this, because it's out with Larry's hands now, even though he's got a 4-rat lead that's about to go to 3.
But this is what I'm talking about. Playing a safe like that is just like missing a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody that can play is making that bank.
Yep.
And probably getting on the 3.
7 into the side, he just needs to dink out past the 9 and go left. And he's got a little bit of left English on it just to help it on its way.
Yeah.
And
no. I mean, as good as Larry's played, if he just
go
made a few better decisions, this would have been like 19-10 to Larry.
Yeah. Well,
instead, it could end up being a close match.
Well, I did still go by my prediction, 19-17 to Larry. It's still on.
Yeah, well, Larry's definitely ran out a lot more than Bedhead does.
Well, Bedhead could start doing that now. He has to.
Well, at this point, when you're behind, you can't afford to break dry and leave him an easy table.
Well, something has gone.
Well, it's gone in, but this rack is no good.
Oh, dear. Well, what do you actually pot the one? Let's have a look at this shot from his angle.
I'd play safe.
I'd be ducking here. Yeah, I'd be punching that one away around the table and ducking in the corner. Yeah, every day I wouldn't even be potting this.
It's a little tricky here getting safe, because you almost have to stun it over in the pockets there. I mean, this is a little bit tricky. This is not an automatic safe. He may shoot this and just play safe from the 2 ball. Of course, he got on the wrong side of it to play safe.
Yeah, he's wrong.
I mean, it was simple if he got above it.
If it was up here, he's fine. He could get away.
Well, I think the 3 ball goes, though. I think he's got a. I think the 3 ball goes, so he's okay here. Now he's shaking his cue, but that 3 ball goes.
Yeah, the 3 ball goes, but look at the spot you've got to get into, Steve, to get it.
It's not that bad from where he is, though. He's got a nice angle to do it. Yeah. He's just got to. This is just a go forward and come back out. Yeah, this isn't bad at all. You don't have to do anything with the cue ball. All you have to do is straight forward off the other side rail.
Just come out far enough to see the edge of the 3.
And then you shoot the 3 and run the cue ball into the 8. You're right there for the 4. I mean, he's out. I just thought it was a shitty situation, but I didn't notice that the 3 ball went.
Now what does he do? He can't really try and do too much with the cue ball here.
You hit this with left English and run into the 8. You just roll this with left English. If you're confident you're going to hit the 8 solid, you may hit it a little more speed to get the cue ball out, but you can just roll this with left English. Now he's drawn this, which means he's going to hit this harder, which means he's confident he's going to hit. Well, he's confident he's going to hit the 8 square.
Yeah.
And,
well, that'll do.
And he didn't, but he got away with it because it hit the 5.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, I would have hit a spinner there and rolled it, but he's gotten away with it. He should be out here. And wow.
5 goes clean. Well, that needs to keep running, and that'll do.
Well, you got to give him credit here and getting out on a tougher rack.
Yep.
I mean, that rack was definitely no easy out.
Well,
and that's really going to be the separation of players is good decision making and getting out on tough racks.
Out into the table at all costs here. Right, that's fine. So we're going to be back to within, what, 2 again? And everything's in Bedhead's hands right now.
Yeah. I mean, the break is so important now because, Larry's playing good. So he's probably going to run out when he gets a chance. So Bedhead needs to make a ball on the break. He needs to make a ball on the break at a minimum, even if he doesn't have a shot on the low ball.
And he's got a ball.
He's got a ball. He's got 2 balls.
He's got
and
3.
He's got a shot.
And he's on the 1. And he's got all the room in the world to get out onto the 3. I mean, I'm giving him this.
This isn't quite so easy. I mean, he's got to spin this behind the 8 ball or run into the 7. I mean, this is not automatic getting on the 3.
Let's have a look at the line. Well, I think if he hits this plain ball and just lets it run in, he's checking it up with right. And that's why, wow.
Well, I think he was worried about running to the 8, and I would have been too. That was a little tricky, and he played it well.
He checked it up to make sure he was avoiding the 8, and that 2 ball had a serious thought about dropping, but it had gone in. And he's got us on the edge of our seats here, Bedhead.
Yeah, and the 7 goes by the 8, so he's, he doesn't have to get particularly good on the 6. I mean, anywhere he's good. Yeah, he's going to play it to come across, what is naturally what I would have done.
Well, I'd have liked to still been looking better on this 6 ball just for my nerves.
Yeah, I would have rather been a little forward too, but
nice.
I mean,
oh dear. Oh, I thought that was hanging up as well. Just the pace that's letting these balls drop.
I've played on tables without balls hanging up every time.
Yeah. Suddenly, there's 1 in it. 9 balls off the rail, not a problem.
Yep, he's going forward with English. That's a good shot. And he's good. So now it's 16-15, and that was a very good out. He had one little challenging situation which he handled well.
Well, this is a big one to get it back in level terms.
At this point, they're all big ones.
Yeah. Oh,
and
now
hit it good,
the 7's been helped in.
Oh, and that little bump he got by the 2 at the end really helped him. Yeah, that really helped.
Right, so you're thinking ahead here. He's a bit. Let's have a look at how he is on this one. He's got an angle.
He can come back and shoot the 2 in the corner, or he can fire this and bump forward into the 4.
Bump the 4 out the way, yeah, and play it into the side.
I mean, this is kind of what feels good to you. He'll probably come back. I think that's a simpler shot.
Yeah, he's spinning it out.
Well, he put himself on the 50-yard line. He's okay.
He didn't play the bump, but he's leaving the cut now. Now he has to avoid traffic and stuff.
Well, that was probably the safest shot. I mean, it makes the position a little bit harder, but it was a nice safe shot as far as getting a shot on the 2. This is just natural.
He's missed a 9.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing to do here, but to me, I'd be making sure I'm slightly inside the 4 or outside either way, just so I can get out far enough for that 5.
I agree. You don't want to be straight in here. I'd roll it to the rail and leave Angle back.
Yeah. Well, he's going the other way. He's going the other way.
Yeah, he's got enough Angle.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, the interesting thing is all of a sudden things are going Bedhead's way. He's making balls on the break. He's getting tables he can run. And he's getting out. So, you know, the momentum has shifted here.
Well, you know, it's true. Larry could have played his last shot.
Well, I mean, Bedhead has played well this match. Things haven't gone his way. He's had a lot of difficult situations. He hasn't made balls on the break. You know, I mean, it's just mistake-wise, he's made less mistakes than Larry, but Larry's had more break and runs and just, you know, things have gone his way more.
Well, we'll have a look at the match stats at the end of it, and we'll get confirmation. But we're definitely getting down to the wire here. 16 apiece.
Well, it's a race to 3. And most of these guys have had their predictions blow up because most of them had Bedhead by a lot.
I'm still good, Steve.
There's at least one that had Bedhead by a little, and then there's you and Bill that had Larry winning.
Well, the 4 and the 6 have gone. He's no shot in the 1.
This is a little tricky here. He's got a safety, but this is a tricky safety.
It's a feather edge, and I don't think you can avoid the 3.
No, you can definitely miss the 3.
Well, look.
No, you can definitely miss this 3 ball. The problem is it may hit the 5. Well, he's pushing. No, it should spin inside.
He's pushing.
I don't think there's anything wrong with pushing here because this shot's tricky. I certainly would be looking at this going, do I really want to shoot this? Yeah, you could catch the 3. You could have the 1 could come out.
Right, so he's called the push and done that. Now, was that a mistake, or did he hit Did he actually hit that by mistake?
I think that's a bad push, and the reason why is the shot's the exact same one from a little closer. There's, you know, if you didn't like that shot and you were going to push to something better, if he gives this back, you've got the same shot. I don't get that. That's not a good push out because you're going to get the same exact thing back.
Well, that's exactly what Larry's done. So now Bedhead's called his own bluff here. He's having
see, he's putting. I would be putting right English on this. You hit this thin. You hit this thin with right English. It's not hitting the. It's not going to hit the 3 ball.
Well,
it is not going to hit.
Now it's even more likely to do it, is it not?
Yeah.
Oh, he's missed it.
Well, that was a very well played shot, but it's not good enough. He played it really well, but it's not good enough.
Bedhead's returned the compliment and given Larry a Bedhead cut. Now, Larry,
you can play safe.
No, he'll take the bait. He'll take
the
bait, Steve.
Bank the 1 and put the cue ball right on the 7.
No. This is a cut every day of the week for Larry. As soon as he sees a sniff of this spot, he's going for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that may be the best play if you're confident on the shot. Why not shoot it?
Well, it's in Larry's nature with shots like this. He's overdone it. He's took the bait, and your option might have been the best bet then.
That was a little tricky because if he made the 1, he was going to run into the 5 unless he did something with the cue ball. Just shooting it, the line was always going to be towards the 5 ball, which might have been fine.
Well, the way this is shaping up, if Bedhead gets out here, Larry's going to have to win the last 3 to get my score.
I'm pretty sure Bedhead's getting out here.
So we are.
I would be shocked if he didn't.
We are 2 hours and 1 minute into the match. But it is down to the nervy stuff kicking in. Because when the nerves kick in and you start thinking about things when it's all so simple, then funny things tend to happen.
Well, and that's the key is when the nerves kick in is don't think about things. Don't, you know, if you feel like you're rushed or something, you know, take a breath, slow down, but you know, don't start thinking a lot. That's death.
So just a roll through to the rail, get out off the rail, play the 7 into the rock.
I don't know what he's doing here.
Yeah, just roll it through like
Okay,
that.
yeah, he was just a nice little roll shot.
And again, you know, whether you finish inside or outside the 8, it doesn't matter. You've got that angle. And that'll do it.
Yeah, I'd always look for angle like he's got. I'm just more confident, positive stroke here.
This is one of these little jabby ones just to sort of take the pace off it, but still have enough to go to the rail and come out like that. You know, that's like it's like a partial draw shot. You know,
yeah,
I like that shot.
I shoot that shot a lot in real life.
So Bedhead has found himself in a winning position, and he's still got a ball in the break there. I think at least one.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden he's breaking and running out.
Well, now he's calling his own bluff again. This has got to go in off the 5, hasn't it, Steve? You got to play this to the rail.
I'd be shooting this every time.
Yeah, you've got to play it to the rail. I mean, it's a huge pocket.
I'd be killing this and shooting a 2 in the side.
Yeah, 2 in the side. Yeah.
So there's a couple ways to do this. You could spin this, or you could spin this one ball, or you could hit it with draw. You kind of got your choice of how you want to slow this cue ball down.
Well, he's looking around the table, obviously, to know where he's going before he makes his move, which is never a bad thing. But this is the critical shot immediately.
I don't think he's going to try to hold the cue ball.
Well, he's hit it to the rail too soon. He's hit it to the rail too soon. Oh dear.
Yeah,
but, well, Larry has got to spin this, is he not, so that he can spin and try and catch the 1.
The thing is it won't go in off the 5. So
yeah, he's got to get the left spin and try and get a little tweak onto the 1.
This is tricky because you're probably going to hit the 1 into the 5 and then off the side rail. You got to hit this with some speed if you want the 1 ball to come back to the end rail. I would hit this. I would spin this a lot and hit it.
Yeah, he's got
to spin fairly firm. This is tricky to get enough of the 1 ball though with speed. This is a tough shot.
He's got to just play this at the right pace to give the English a chance to work. You can't hit it. Well, it's gone in off the 5.
He got it in.
Let's have a look at that.
Did it go in off the 5? I didn't think it did go in off the 5.
I'm sure it did.
Wow. You got to hit that perfect to get it in off the 5.
I think the cue ball hit them both.
No, it didn't go in off the 5. No. I mean, that was sitting where to go in off the 5 would have been crazy. He just hit it into the side channel of the pocket. I mean, that shot was there, but you had to hit it perfect.
Well,
I mean, that's a great shot to make that ball there.
My nerves are getting shattered, and I'm only watching this.
And I like the speed he hit it because if it didn't go in, it was going to come back on the end rail. That was the speed you needed to hit the ball.
Well, this is where Larry wins the last 2 racks for my result prediction.
Yeah, I like how he hit that. Nice positive stroke, get the cue ball out off the rail. Now this one you got to decide whether you're going to draw it or go off the side rail. I would go off the side rail.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's going to do.
Straight through and back, yeah. Now, let's have a look at how straight he is in the 7.
No, he's good. He can go forward with this. Maybe just a touch of right English and go forward.
But I'd be going forward and far enough into the table so I don't leave myself any cuts.
You want to come at least to the middle of the table. That's perfect.
You want to make it on a plate rather than leaving yourself things to think about. You know.
Yeah, I like that figure of speech there, on a plate.
Yeah. Oh, Stubbs still in the stream. That's amazing. He usually only lasts a couple of lines and then he disappears.
Stubbs in the stream talking shit. Well, let's see if you can do it. Let's see if you can do it when it counts, Stubbs, not when you're screwing around.
Well, 17 apiece.
Race to 2.
And it's all in Larry's hands now.
And Larry's been breaking good. Let's see if he can come up with a good break here. I mean, he's been breaking good.
And that rack's tilted slightly. Oh, now I don't think anything's going. Nothing's going, and there's a thin cut in the 1. Cue ball's going to be ducking and diving around the table. So,
yeah, it's a 4 railer without. Well,
now, let's look at the line, though.
the line's fine.
I think the line looks fine if he goes the line I'm thinking.
You just
Let's have a look.
you got to go between the 3 and 4 here, which
Yeah.
I think the line is looking good for that.
He's hit it.
Well,
He's hit it.
uh,
I think. See, I was looking at that, but playing it with a bit of spin.
he did spin the ball.
He did?
But
Well-
he put running spin on it, which opened it up, and that's why he hit the 3.
Well,
I'm playing safe here every time. I don't know what he's going to do, but I'd be using that 5-6 ball.
oh yeah, you do with the shot you were talking about earlier. As long as you don't run into the 8 ball with the 2 and you duck behind the 5 and 6. Is that what you're thinking?
No, you're just going to go forward off the end rail behind the 5 ball here.
Yeah, well, he's checking this with a bit of left.
Well, he's probably planning on cutting the 2 ball a little more, which is fine. I mean, you don't want to bank the 2 ball in the pocket here when you're hiding it. Well, I don't like that. He tried to play a side-to-side shot. That's.
Oh, he hasn't got it yet.
All right, he's going to demerit for that. That's not a good save. He was way better off bringing the cue ball, the 2 ball down table and playing a cue ball over here, and he had that shot.
Now, is Larry going to take the bait? You know, Larry's got.
Well,
he's got a bank. It's off the rail.
This is kind of a free shot here because you can bank this 2 ball and bring it down and shoot the 3, and there's 3 or 4 different pockets you can shoot the 3 in.
Yeah, he's going for it.
You don't want to hit this too hard. You're just going to let this cue ball flow.
Oh, it's going to go double. It's going to go.
He hit that too hard. He got lucky, but he hit that too hard. But you know what? At this point in the match, luck means a lot.
Well, this is the same sort of shot I was talking about previously. Bedhead played. It's a little draggy sort of draw shot off the 3 just to get it nice and tight.
You know, I hit this a little right English and draw, and kill it off the rail.
Now you got to make a decision here, Larry. Little dink, and then you're playing the gap or right out into the table. You can't be in between thinking about it.
I'd be coming past the 8 ball every time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're close enough. You can control the speed here, and that's well done.
Well, he got there.
Well, no, it's not well done. He didn't get there.
Didn't? Oh dear. Well,
I think he's going to have to spin this if he wants to make it. He's going to try to hit a little spinner.
Oh dear, disaster!
It spun too early. Yeah, I thought he hit it perfect, but he didn't get out there far enough.
Well.
Well, that really hurts.
That's fatal. That's fatal. Bedhead's going to be breaking for the match in a minute.
Yeah, well, you hit 17-17, and
dear.
You couldn't afford to give him ball in hand. You know, in that situation, instead of hitting the spinner, he could have tried to play safe.
But going back
what he could have done is hit the 5 thin and put it on the end rail and brought the cue ball down table. He didn't have to shoot that. But I think you said this before, Hugh, that Larry's kind of a go-for-it mentality.
But then again, what I said prior to playing the shot, he has to make his mind up what he's doing, playing the little gap or getting right out into the table and making no doubt about it and getting on the ball.
Yeah.
And he tried to be cute again.
I think he just tried to get too perfect. Because if you get thin on that, you can always go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get too thick on it, you're hooked.
Oh, that's painful to watch.
Yeah. Well, this is a huge break here. I mean, it's all in Bedhead's hand. If he can break and make a ball, then he's,
on the hill. Oh, this didn't look a good break, did it?
Looking like it might be dry.
That was not great. But I don't think.
Let's watch a replay of that last
I don't think
shot.
he's left anything enticing for Larry. The 7 ball, I think, is the way of the bank.
If it's me, I'm putting this on the 5 ball every time.
Yeah.
This is a little spinner shot where you put a lot of right English on it and just sort of let it spin over.
Yeah, but do you not sort of semi-stun it a little bit and then let so that the spin catches and dinks down? No.
You don't have to stun this, but you have to, if you're not going to stun it, you have to spin a lot. But if you run into the 5 and you get the 1 ball to come across the table, you've got a hook of either the 4 or the 7.
Larry's looking at the cut in the 1.
Shooting it.
He's cutting the 1.
Larry's in go for it mode.
Yeah,
he's
decided that's it. I'm going to make, the result's going to be decided by him either running this out.
Well, he's been consistent. Here's the shot, though. This is no gimme shot. He's going to have to put some English on this to get on the 3, some inside English.
Yeah,
I guess you could try to come straight down the table. You're going to leave yourself a cut on that 3 with a difficult 4 to get to. I would be hitting this with inside and trying to get pretty straight on that 3 ball. He's just going to roll to the end rail. Well, this is even a more difficult because the 4 doesn't go by the 5.
Nope.
So he's either got to go back and forth, which I don't think will work, or he's going to shoot the combo on the 4-5. He just doesn't want to play safe. I mean, he's had good opportunities to play safe this rack. He's just not in that mode.
Is he going to hit this hard enough to try and run the cue ball across the 2 rails and get a bump into that? But
that wasn't ever going to work. I mean, he got basically lucky to get on the 4 ball there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was never going to come short of the 4. It was going to always go behind it.
Well, let's look at it from another point of view. Had that 3 ball gone in, it was a brilliant shot.
Well, it's a brilliant shot anyways. He just got lucky.
Yeah, well, it's a long jump, but Bedhead will be able to. In fact, Bedhead, I think,
Bedhead may try to bank this.
Well, let's have a look.
I think the jump bank is a better shot than trying to cut it in.
Well, this for the match effectively. If he can get it and have a billiard or a combo in the 4 and 5.
I know. I like the jump bank.
Well, in it goes, but unlucky, I think.
Well, that's not unlucky. That's why I like the jump bank, because with the jump bank, you're guaranteed to have a shot on the 4. Going that way, that was likely to happen. It was likely to happen that it was going to run into the 8 and go someplace bad. I mean, that was actually pretty predictable. That's why I like the bank shot, because the cue ball would have gone over towards the side rail on the other side, maybe in the corner pocket.
Who's giving odds a hill here, guys?
Yeah, I like kicking behind the 4-2 rails. Kick the 4 ball up table. Not guaranteed you're going to come out safe. But what is he doing? He's above this is wrong. Oh, he tried to go straight into it. That's why. I didn't like straight into it.
Well,
I like going behind the 4 ball, 2 rails.
Here we go. Larry's going to have to, I think he's going to have to come back. I don't think he dare go forward and try and run this.
No, you got to come back with this all day. I mean, it's simple shape to get on the 5 coming back.
If anything, overhit this and get up table beyond the 9 and 7. Don't believe yourself shot.
Yeah, you want to pull this all the way back to the end rail. You got to make sure you cut the 4 ball enough so it doesn't run into the 9.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cut that 4 ball enough, there's no way it's hitting the 9. I don't know what he's doing. He's looking at forward right now. Here we go. Right. But he's too thick on this, I think. Now he's thinning it out. I think he realized he was too thick.
He hasn't hit it. He hasn't hit it, Steve. He hasn't hit it. I told you.
He was on the perfect line. You always bring that ball to the end rail.
You've got to overhit it. He's now going to have to jump and with the ball stay in the table.
Here's the thing. It's decisions by fear. He's thinking if I hit it, I'm bringing the corner pocket into play.
It stayed in the table.
That's an amazing shot. Shouldn't have had to shoot it, but it was an amazing shot.
It stayed in the table. Oh, dear.
I'll tell you what. This is watching these guys play has been very entertaining because they've done all kinds of crazy stuff
for some of the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Well, but I'll tell you what, it's made it exciting. That was crazy there.
Well,
to hit that crappy a shot and hook yourself and then make that great jump shot.
This is absolutely perfect, I think, just to let this cue ball run through.
I'll tell you this right now. If we were playing no jump cues, Larry would not be winning this match.
No,
because he's made some phenomenal jump shots this match.
Right now, I know what I'm doing here. I'm just dinking this in with a bit of jab on it, if you know what I mean. Just a little jab.
Yeah, I'm drawing back off
Yeah,
2 rails here.
little
Yeah,
jab, kick
this
him
is
out.
exactly. He's just doing the little jab. I would have gone 2 rails, but that works.
That will do. Well, here we are. I got my prediction wrong, but only by 1 rack. Well, so far.
So far, yeah. this is the biggest break of the match at Hill Hill. Whose destiny is going to be in whose hands? That's what. This is what it's going to come down to. Is somebody's going to have destiny in their own hands.
Well, look at where Larry's breaking from now at the moment, unless he moves the cue ball.
He's going to move it. Yeah, he's broke from these spots all match. Well, let's see what happens here. He's broke well the whole match. This is when he really needs it.
Oh, 6
and he's
in the
got
side.
a ball in.
And he's got the 1 in the side. The cue ball's running up nicely. And there you go, Larry. It's all yours. If you want it enough.
Last game.
Oh, dear.
I know.
A little dink into the side. Catches any of that point, it won't go in. Got to play it to the jaw.
Yeah, I think he's going to make this and run out. Well, I think he's going to make this. We'll see about the run out. That's perfect. You can roll forward and shoot the 3 in the side. 4 to the 5 should be pretty easy. I mean, destiny is in his hands. He'll have to dog it not to get out here.
Yeah. Right, now, again,
stop shot. This is just stop shot. Don't do
be
anything
interfering
silly
with the 9. Stay away from
Don't try to get perfect. Stop shot. That's fine.
Yeah, just bump it to the rail and out.
Yep, this is just stun it over and out. You can hit this. Don't underhit this. A little hard is a lot better than underhitting this.
Who's Captain Arcade? Somebody sent me a friend request on Facebook. Who the hell's that? Because when I don't
have no
know,
idea.
When I don't know who they are, they just get ignored.
And that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a perfect angle. You can get almost anywhere on the 7 ball.
Well, it's still a big test of nerves, though. Larry's all over the finishing line here. Bar 3
and
balls.
that's good too. You just don't want to underhit this.
Now he's looking at the angle on the 7. I mean, why is he thinking of the angle on the 7? You play the shot, it's there.
It's just a nice, firm little stun shot.
Just get on with it and play the shot.
And forward a little left English.
Hairpig's tempted fate here. But
now I'm going to cut out because I've got to go. I've got, but I just want to say that well played by both guys. Larry played a great match, and congratulations to Larry, and good luck to Bedhead in the loser bracket. He played well too. And I'm adios.
Right, Steve. Thanks for joining. We'll see you later. Well, well done to Larry. Well done to Bedhead because the two of them made it a match. We had the mistakes. We had Larry holding his nerve at the end. That was the best match of the tournament by far, so far. Quick look at the bracket for confirmation because it's going to update. And we will have Larry through to round 5. And Larry is waiting to play the winner of Cobra and Spectre Dawn. And of course, it's all down to the business end now on the winner's side. Back to the... In fact, that was the thing that I was going to look at. We'll have a look at the stats for that match. That'll be interesting. Now, where is he? There he is. And Bedhead. So, as I mentioned also previously in another stream, we now have the 2 Swedes on the 1 loss side. Bedhead's going over to join Albinario and fight it out there. Let's see how that looks. Well, Larry was better in balls per turn. 190 shots shot, 173 made. That, of course, that mixes in the safeties as well. Break stats, a ball on the break, each of them. Larry was better there. Run-outs from the break is shared 6 apiece. Break percentage 79 for Larry, 67 for Bedhead. And Rack's high run was 3 for Bedhead and 2 for Larry. 100% on the money balls for Larry and 94 for Bedhead. So that was thoroughly enjoyable, on the edge of your seat stuff at the end. So once again, well done to Larry for holding it together, and well done to Bedhead also. So now it's Friday Night 9 Ball all over, and it's only what? Oh no, there it is. I was thinking, what the hell's happened here? Let's have a look. So let's see where they are. They must be close to the final. If they are, it's early. No, it's the one loss. It's the match between Spectre Don and One Pocket Slim to see who they play in the final and who they're going to be playing. Let's have a look. Oh, it's Chimpy. Was Chimpy not in last week's final as well? Can't remember. But anyway, we'll nip in and we'll catch the rest of Friday Night 9 Ball. Somebody's fallen asleep in that room. So both players are in. Well, last week was Fox. Ah, right, sorry. Well, good luck. So let me see if I can find my my layout for Friday Night 9 Ball. I think that's it. There we go. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. I certainly did. I just want to see a good, close match. You know, well done for Larry winning. He's up against it, of course, in every match now, as is everybody else that's left in the tournament. He's either going to be playing Cobra or Spectre Dawn. But he's on the right side of the bracket. That's what matters. Now that you mentioned that, Matt, I am just going to find my other button. Hang on a minute to remind. Is it that one?
Welcome to VP4 TV, a tactical genius production. Here is a list of upcoming matches in the 2023 Virtual 9 Ball World Championships. I try to stream what I think will be the best matches to watch and offer a good standard of play. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels so you can join in the stream chat.
Right, Slim won the lag. Just to clarify, of course, the Larry Bedhead match is now done on that schedule. The next match I will be streaming will be the match between Cobra and Spectre Dawn, and that's tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm going to start it early because I'm going to join the Bill and Pool Kabouter match at 7 o'clock, but then we're moving over to Cobra and Spectre Dawn at 7:30. One Pocket Slim plays Brainfill out on Sunday at noon. I'll be at work. And finally, we have Albie and Matt playing at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. So I'll be there for that, for the one lost side match. Meantime, was that the one I chose? Is that the right button again? No, it's this one, I think. Hang on a minute. I think that's us. Right. So, yes, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, and I'll be streaming on Sunday as well. So, race to 4 on the one lost side in Friday Night 9 Ball. No handicap. This is a scratch match. And this is to see who plays Chimpy in the final. Well, I think the most we had tonight was 26. I'm down to 24. That's obviously going to tail off as people get bored. But we've not got long left for Friday Night 9 Ball. So, but worth staying. We're going to have a final race to 9. And it'll be either of these two guys against Chimpy. So, no point in going to bed or get your dinner or whatever now. Is Larry in the stream, or is Larry still having a lie down? He's probably gone to a darkened room. I'll have a quick drink. Is Bedhead there? I think Bedhead's gone and all. I think they've had enough of that after that 2 hours 20 minutes or whatever it was. Because sometimes in those matches you could have a sore head at the end of it from all the thinking. Well done, Larry. Some funny stuff going on now and again, but you got there. That's all that matters. Even if you have to fall over the line, but you did well. That was a cracking shot in the 2-ball. Best shot of the tournament, that jump shot with a cut for the 2-ball earlier in the match. Maybe the old sphincter was twitching at the time. But it's probably worth a playback. And there'll be quite a few people who might have been out tonight and missed it, so they'll watch it probably over the weekend once they get an idea what the outcome is, or unless they don't, or they make a point of not looking at the outcome and just going and watching the video. But anyway, Spectre Dawn going to be 2-0 up, and I think, was it Slim that missed a ball there because he was busy messing about, but I saw somebody missed, I presume it was Slim, which is why Spectre Dawn's at the table. Don't scratch on the side, well away from that. So tall order immediately when it's race to 4, you blink and suddenly you've lost the match. Well, there again, the 2 balls didn't move. Well, they moved now, they got a bump, but they were absolutely rock solid, that 8 and 9 ball. And the brake's dry, and Slim's got plenty of cover in the long grass at the top end of the table, but you see you got a double kiss there. He got a double kiss. And he's got away with it, but he won't get away with it in a second because he's going to be in trouble. There's enough of the one to squirt away off there and come down. As long as you don't scratch in the corner here, you've got a whole rack of balls to hide behind, and he's made sure he's well away from the pocket. But Slim will kick this every day of the week. He's no problem in hitting it. How's his luck though? Well, he'll settle for that, but I think Spectre Dawn, is he going to try and just... Yeah, well, the double kiss actually helped him there. He'll take that. And obviously there's going to be a bit of messing about here where there's 3 balls sitting. Now, does that... so I suppose it depends, obviously, how you finish in the 2, whether you can get some sort of nudge, because the 3 balls are absolutely stone dead in there. It's going nowhere. and suddenly we're down to 13 viewers. I've lost half my audience after the match is finished. Now, well, he can certainly cut the 2, and he can certainly hit something here. He just has to hope he gets lucky, and he's only hit the 5. I thought he'd have got more. He'd have got more movement than that. So a little duck behind the 4 here. That's a bit heavy, and that's bad. He's going to be nailed in a second. And it's Spectre Dawn again, struggling for the decent safety, and he's put himself in a hole. So now these balls are all open. Slim may well get his chance here in a second or 2. And, oh, hang on. Well, the 7's not got the legs, so... Well, he's got a pot in the 3. The trick now, though, is finding some way to see this 4 ball. Now, he could just take his medicine here and just spin this and try and find the gap. And he has done. And he can just roll it straight in, drop through to the rail, not a problem. Now I think he's got a choice. He can either come up into the table or just come... I think that he's got too much angle in the 5 to be trying to kill this. He's just coming up into the table. And well, I always like to just go around and around the 2 rails, well, 3 rails, just to get out onto the 8. 1, 2, 3, and the angle there, a little bit of you put a little bit of check on it, or you come down. Now he's coming this side. Got to watch the side pocket. That's the only danger with that one. And he's perfect. So he's off and running. He's in the game. Eight ball, bottom left. Cue ball gets bumped to a standstill, but the bank is most certainly on. Now the 7 ball's going to come into play to hold the cue ball. He's missed the bank. And this is neither here nor there. This 1 ball, take your pick, because the scratch is on either way here. He's avoided the scratch, and that's unlucky. That's unlucky. Well, this is where Slim will just play the double kiss and run back across the table, but could he squeeze behind the 9? Let's have a look. No, he's not playing the double kiss, because he might leave a bank. Well, this is going to find a gap, is it? Has it got the legs? No, it's got to keep going, and it hasn't got there. So even if this cue ball runs over and hits some of the 5, it'd be very unlikely that Spectre Dawn won't be able to see the 3. And he's made sure of that, right into the gap. And he's going to be on the hill. I was just adjusting my overlay chat window because some of the words were missing at the end there, I noticed. So it's a short but a long road back for Slim, if you know what I mean. 3-1 to Spectre Dawn. And the 5 ball wasn't going in, but it got kicked in by the 7. He's on the 1. And the match is over. Unlucky Bedhead. Great match. It was well worth the watch. And 2 Swedes on the 1 loss side. Who would have thought it? Well, you're going to have to deal with Stubb, one of the two of yous, at some point, I would think. But then again, Stubb has to overcome Mr. Fox. So Stubb's under pressure. You both had 6 runouts from the break in that match. You had the Racks High run with 3, Larry had 2. Inspector Dawn is going to be in yet another Friday night 9-ball final. Loads of English to kill the cue ball. So it's going to be Spectre Dawn from the UK versus Chimpy from the Netherlands in Friday night 9-balls final. Yeah, Larry was breaking well, but as Steve said, Larry was breaking well, but he was making more mistakes than you. So unlucky to Slim, but he's come out with more money than he had when he went in, so that's always a win. And it's Spectre Dawn in the final, and we are going to have an early night here, folks, for Friday night, that is, because we're only 20 minutes to 10, and I'll get to bed earlier. So, Chimpy versus Spectre Dawn, race to 9, and it may well be a minute or 2 before Spectre Dawn joins the room, but we'll get in and get set. Well, what about that jump shot by Larry on that 2 ball? That was a cracker. Shot of the tournament, that one. Yeah, I knew one of the two of you was going to have to deal with Stubb. If he comes through, that is. Yeah, if it happens, middle of the night or a silly time, my time, then as long as you get it, Slim, I don't care. I want to watch it. So, just waiting, Inspector Dawn coming in. Oh, the yawning started big time. Oh. Well, I'm tired watching that match. So here we go. We've got Chimpy on the right, Spectre Dawn on the left, lag for the break. And it's a scratch match, no handicap. Yeah, the one where Larry jumped and cut that 2-ball. Yeah, that was the one. That was the one, Bedhead. That was some shot. So, Chimpy with the break. And success, and that 1-ball and the cue ball are in not a bad shape. I think he's got to go the 2 rails, of course, cut the 1 and run back across the table. The only danger is the scratch. Now, if he takes evasive action to make sure he's not going to scratch, he can end up a wee bit further away from the 2, but I think he'd accept that. Well, he's actually probably maybe done that. I never looked at what he was doing, but he's overcut the 1 maybe because of it. And now Spectre Don's got a straight choice because the bank is on, but he's looking just to spin behind the 7. He hasn't got there though. Well, you know, jump cues, you know, that's taken away Bill's, one of Bill's big pieces of armoury, isn't it? And them other guys that can jump as well. I mean, I'm more disappointed that we didn't have the golden break on, because I like the golden break on, because that makes it exciting when it gets down to the wire. And I don't think we had any 9 balls in the break in that match tonight. Not that that mattered, because they come back up on the table, but I don't recall the 9 ball going in. Well, he's got the shot in the 2, but again, it's one of those little awkward angle cuts just to read the line. Now, he looks as if he's trying to kill this behind the 8 here with my eyes. Yeah, and that'll do it. That is well done. Because he's not jumping that, I don't think. Let's have a look. Well, that's very tight to attempt to jump. Bill might have had a go at it. And we've now got 8 people left in the stream. You see how they all drift away. They've all had enough for the day. Well, a good hit. And, well, it could have been left easier here for Chimpy. Well, again, it's on the 5, but it's just a bit straight. You know, he's probably just going to have to run up the table and leave this 6 a cut, but it's tight to the rail, and he's got to move the cue ball probably 2 or 3 rails to get down. Well, I had the right idea, but he didn't get enough pace in it to get that bottom and left English to up there to kick it over far enough. And he just ducked out. Now Spectre Dawn will be going for the cut. Well, Slim's a glutton for punishment. He signed up for the 9 ball high rollers. Trying to pick somebody's pocket if he can find somebody to take the bait. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Well, Spectre Dawn had that rack sewed up right there. Chimpy gets a reprieve to get first blood. Nothing doing. But the one ball, well, that 8 ball just skimmed past the one, but I don't think it's knocked it into play. Nope. If it had gone another inch, it would have gone past that 5. Now, the 9 ball might be in the way of the kick here. Let's have a look. No, it isn't. So there's a good chance this could go in. And it has done. That was well done. And, well, dare I say it, it should be 2-0 to Chimpy. Apart from the fact he's going to have to deal with a 6-7 combo and have to get good on it. And I think he might be having interference with the 4 ball here now. Not maybe try and, well, he's just playing it dead weight. And he might be too straight again, is he? No, he's got an angle, so a little bump up the table. High enough on the 5. Now this is a crucial one. And this is not going to be easy to get good on the 6 for the combo. Because he's having to draw, and that's never a surefire way to get guaranteed to get good, but oh dear, that's what happens when you start running the cue ball. And suddenly it's back in Spectre Dawn's hands. Well, ball in hand with a combo's not a problem. Should have been 2-0. Oh, I've hit the sleep wall now, folks. I am going downhill rapidly, but we'll hang on in there till the end. So 1 apiece. Well, the 2 ball was trying to get there. I thought it was going to collide with the 8, but it hasn't. But look at the table. Dry and an open invitation for Chimpy to just plot his way around the table. Now, the first big problem is immediate pot in the 1 and then having to find the gap probably between the 4 and 5 to get up table for the 3. Now, there's a big gap there, so that shouldn't be the issue. The only danger is he checking this to come down the other side? He looks. I don't know what he's doing yet. We'll find out. No, he's just. Well, he is trying to spin across. Well, these are the. We see Spectre Dawn leaving a lot of these sort of shots at distance. He's quite happy to do this. Chimpy's going to have a go, and that's what happens when you leave them at distance. They're never. They're not easy, especially with the cut angle. And I think he's got away with this. Yeah. I mean, the first thing's certain the 3 ball doesn't bank. And it looks as if he's trying to catch a very thin edge of this 3 to try and cut it. That should be a good shot. Well, it's not easy either, this 3. And again, got to avoid blocking himself. He must be able to see the 4, even if he gets this 3 ball. And that's why the, you know, how the cue ball runs after this, and that needs to miss the 6. And that's pretty well done. Well, should be a 2-1 lead for sure. Where will this go wrong? Just the roll in the 8 and the roll in the 9. Nothing elaborate. So Chimpy's going to have another go at opening this little gap. The usual scenario, ball in a shot. The 9 ball has been kicked, everything else has moved, and nothing's gone down. But Chimpy has, unfortunately for him, he's left a shot in the 1, but the 2 ball is most certainly not. Is that the 2 ball? Is it the behind the 7? Yes, it is. That's certainly not easy to get to. And Spectre Dom was trying to get in the top side of it there to be able to cut it into the side pocket. And he's also got away with it. Well, I think this has got to be kicked off the bottom rail as we look, because I don't think you can see much of that 1 ball at all. In fact, he can't get out past the 6. What am I talking about? No, he's stuck behind the 6. I thought he could see the end rail. Well, good effort at getting a hit. Inspector Don will now have ball in hand to get to the 2, and he's got no problem now. He's got to punch this in to get that cue ball, or he's got to be delicate and find the gap between the 7 and the 4. So he's got a gap between the 4 and the 5. Has he gone far enough? I think he might have. Oh, yes, he has. He's just got there. Well, the rest of it should be plain sailing. He might want to just chip into this a little bit just to come across the table. No, he's playing it dead weight. He's slightly the wrong side of the 4, but it's not a problem. You just kill it there. And the rest is pretty much elementary, my dear Watson, as he says. as Mr. Holmes says. So we're going to be all square again. Is this going to go all the way as well? I hope for my sake it doesn't. I'm just purely selfish in that I want to get to bed. Well, who's going to get the break working and force the issue? Spectre Don has another go. Well, this time he's got success. And he is on the 1 ball. And the 6 and 8 have gone. Now he's going to have to run the cue ball. Now, I think the line is there just to let this run. Oh, he's checked it big time. Well, I think if he'd let it run and get down on this end of the table, he'd have a far better option than playing the 2. And now, what do you do? I mean, this would be some. It would be some combo at this setup. I try to play the 9. And, well, I think Chimpy can cut this 2 ball with a little bit of right. He doesn't need a lot, but he might be able to try and play a billiard. And it looks too close though. I don't think it's set. I think it's too close. I think it's hard to get away from here with this, the way these are sitting. It's too dicey to try and get in behind the 9. You're going to take a fair chunk of the 9 if you come off the left side of the 1. Well, I think he would like to take that again because well, Spectre Don has got cover, but he's not got it safe. Now, if Chimpy jumps this and pots the 3, he'd be hoping that he runs into the 7 because I don't think it would do him any harm. It would keep him bottom side of the 4, guaranteeing a shot. He might squirt in behind the 7 though. Well, he's run into the 7 and that'll do it. That's exactly what he wanted. Just to stay this end, and then all you have to do is just roll the 4 in. You don't have to think about anything else other than the cue ball coming off the rail. Now it's going to be Chimpy's turn to try and open that gap again. Rack number 6, race to 9. And I don't think anything's doing here either. That 1 might just drop behind the 3, or is it going to stay in play? I think it is. So the 1 ball's on. But the 2 ball, well, I mean, if you were here, it goes. But, well, that is not a bad, it's not a bad effort. I mean, it does go, but at that angle, it's so easy to catch some of the 6. But it's really tight. Yep, and he's done exactly that. At that angle, it was always strong odds it was going to catch some of the 6. Now, how does Chimpy get out of here? Because likewise, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to get a big chunk of this 6 ball. And is he going to get out of there? Bit of top and spin can help it on its way. Oh dear. Well, this was, well, something similar to the Larry jump cut in the 2, but Chimpy hasn't been able to go over the 8. And again, with ball in hand, it's more than likely we're going to be all square here. So for anybody still watching, I'll be here tomorrow for the start of Bill's match with Pool Kabouter. And that starts at the top of the hour at 7 PM GMT. That would be 2 PM Eastern, 11 AM Pacific, and sort of whatever time it is, Mountain Time or Central Time or whatever time zones there are. And then I think it's Cobra and Spectre Dawn at the 1/2 the hour. So as soon as the Cobra Spectre Dawn match is underway, I'll be moving across to that match. And that's well worth looking forward to as well. If it's anything like tonight's, that'd be a bumper couple of days for exciting matches, certainly. So this time, we're having to start all over again. 3 racks apiece. Well, there was a ball. And that little nudge the 4 gave on the 1 ball comes in very handy, because that's now knocked a 1 into the cutting position past the 3. Now, does he stun this in firm to avoid the 6? I think he does. Oh, he looks as if he's going forward. Yeah, but he didn't take my advice. He didn't listen to the commentator there. I think he should have stunned it in and come around the angles and out, and then he would have been on the 2. But here's one of these cuts that Spectre Dawn fancies every Friday night 9 ball. That was well done. They are not easy. Not easy at all. And this is a bit thinner than it looks from here. So he's going to have to work the cue ball. And that's the best he could do because it was so thin. So a testy one down the rail. Again, if this goes to the rail too soon, it'll catch the side pocket. And it's gone clean. So there's one final issue, and that's to get really good in this 6 ball so that you're just going forward or coming back to take the 7 in the side. And that pace looks perfect, apart from the fact he might not have much of an angle. Yeah, he's a bit straight, so all he's going to do is just roll through and leave a roll in on the 7. Well, Spud Boy, is that you just arrived? You missed a hell of a match earlier on. go and watch it when you've got time. I will add it to my playlist for this tournament, but the video's already up there on YouTube. And if you're doing nothing later on, go and watch the match between Larry and Bedhead. It was epic. So Spectre Dawn goes into the lead now by the single rack, and he again has come up dry. And it's another table that is asking to be run out. Oh well, he got that all wrong. And it's now vice versa because Spectre Dawn is going to have the chance to open the gap for the first time. Yeah, make a point and maybe if you're having something to eat in front of the computer or however you're watching, and have a look at the match between Larry and Bedhead. I can guarantee it's well worth a watch. Well, this is a cut into the side and onto the rail and out far enough. He might just roll this. Let's have a look, see what he's got. Yeah, just roll this through, take it into the side. Now a little stunt. Well, again, you can go the 2 or 3 rails here if you wish. But Spectre Dawn tends to just dig in just to use the 2 rails. So high enough in the 9 is all that's required. Or low enough, depending on what end of the table you're counting here. This is low enough. And this for a 2-rack lead. Again, another ball in the break, but the 1 ball isn't good. He can try and duck behind the 8 though, or he can reverse bank it. But again, he's way too heavy with the touch. Now, that 1 ball, let's have a look. That 1 ball, well, he's got to get this absolutely perfectly if he's going to try and cut it past the 9, because it will go, but it catches any of the 9, it's not going in. And he's not playing the cut. It wasn't a great line for a bank either. Well, we've got the 2 players and myself, plus another 5 people in the room. Who's all in the room? You've got Travelling TT, Fuzzy Dunlop, Rabbit, PP Monster, W3N3, and myself. Oh, just missed the edge of that too. So it looks as if it's going to go to 3 in a minute or two. Now, did they play the push out there? Yeah, I must have missed something there. Look at the chat. I think he must have played a push out. Or did he catch some of the two? Maybe caught a feather edge of it. I'm not quite sure. Well, that's nice. Nice pace to land on the two. And I've definitely given this rack to him now. Welcome back to repetition. We've now got 12 viewers again. So some of you may well have went for a coffee break or something. But most people left the building when that Larry Bedhead match finished. Because depending on where you are in the world, depends on whether it's supper time, dinner time or bedtime. Well, once again, just got to avoid that right side pocket if he's coming back across, which is what he's doing. Well, he's made sure he's going nowhere near the pocket. Actually, he's very nicely on the 8 ball, even though it's at distance. So the alarm bell should be ringing for Chimpy. It's now gone to 3. And it's 3 required for Spectre Dawn to add to his collection of Friday Night 9 balls. But it's that 2 ball might get there. I think it will. Oh, just dropped in its last breath, and he's on the 1. And the 3 ball goes past the 8. Well past the 8. 4 balls there. And I think Spectre Dawn is on a roll here. He's just attempted. He tried to get really into the cue ball to come back up to leave the cut in the 3. He didn't get into it enough. Didn't get enough pace in it. And again, poor safety. Well, this has to be cut into the bottom right hand corner and just draw off the 3 and you'll be on the 4. Vital, of course, that Chimpy gets this because Spectre Dawn was threatening just to run away. And he's good. 5 going into the same pocket. So looks fairly straightforward as long as he has the angle on this 6 ball. Now, if I was Chimpy, I'd be endeavouring to get up the table a reasonable bit here rather than leaving this way at distance. Well, he's brushed the 7, and that's not great. I think he's almost dead straight. And he can pinch a wee bit. He's got to get the spin working. And that's good enough. That'll do. Good evening to Rabbit. Well, did you see any of the Larry Bedhead match? I'm just asking you guys because I don't think you were in the stream earlier on. If you were, I missed you. But you must go and watch the Larry Bedhead match on. Well, you can watch it on YouTube or Twitch. If you missed it, then for goodness sake, go and watch it. It's 2 hours and about 20 minutes, and it's well worth viewing. So Chimpy back to within 2. balls in the break, but nothing good on the one. And this is going to be a 1-ball rack because everything there is sitting ducks for pockets. And has he got the cover? Oh, let's have a look from this end. No, he hasn't. And if Spectre Dawn can get the feather edge, he can get away from this 1-ball. Well, he's hit it thicker. And that's not great because, oh, wait a minute. It might be, yep, he's just got, has he got a cover behind the 3? I think he has. Yep, going to have to be the jump to catch the edge of the 1. Or he's going to have to bend it, one of the two. Yeah, he's out with the jump stick. Yeah, well, it's something that's going to be worthwhile taking a couple of hours out to watch it. Whether it be tonight or over the weekend sometime. Well, he's caught the 1. Now, is this rolling onto the 7? No, it's going into the gap. Inspector Dawn. Well, you know, again, he's got to just avoid. Well, even if he bumps into the 4 here, it won't do him much harm. But he might be trying to get up the table for the 2 into the side. He could just dink this in. He might just dink into the gap here between the 4 and 8. No, he is trying to run, and he did get the bump in the 4, and it has done him a favour, and he's now lying perfect. That's one way of doing it. Well, wrong side of the 3, but once again, there's so much room. He's quite content to leave it at distance. And so the gap will go to 3. Spectre Dawn will need 2. So 7-4, and everything in the hands of Spectre Dawn. And the 8-ball goes in top right hand corner. The 6-ball's been bumping into the 1, and that is perfect again, I think, if the 4-ball stays out of the way. Yep, he's good to go. The only issue, of course, will be getting down on this 3-ball to play that combo. He can be really ambitious and try and get down on the short side of the 3. And, well, it's hard to tell with Spectre Dawn. I mean, he's got the angle where he could try and run this ball on the short side of the 3-ball. It's hard to decide whether he's going to do that or whether he's going to try and run into a line on that left side for the 3-6 combo. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to get right down on the short side. And that's good enough because I think he's got the angle and the gap there to get out of there. But got to be careful with the pace because he wants to stay in touch with the 4 ball. And he's got a choice of a few pockets where it can go. He might try and get up above it. It looks as if he's tweaking it with a wee bit of left. I don't think the plan was to bump the 4, but he'll take it. Maybe it was. And again, it's got to be hit with pace to get the 4 ball to the hole. And there's no way he won't have a shot in the 5. Well, this is just a little dig-in stunt to get out far enough for the 6, like that. And in a few moments, he'll be on the hill. 9 ball is off the rail. And loads of room. Well, it's getting to the end of this match, maybe, as far as Spectratron's concerned. Oh dear, the commentator's curse has done it again. And Chimpy can still be in this match if he takes this one out and gets maybe a couple of nice breaking runs, because that's what he's going to need. But it's a 2-rack swing again. Back to within 2. Spectratron staring at being in the hill, and he's missed that 9. And Chimpy has got the first part right. And look at the table. 2 ball over the pocket, 3 up top, 4 to the right of the 9 ball. Now, where's the problem? This match isn't over. Well, some of you have come back, or there might be new viewers, but we're back up to 15 to catch the end of this match. And Chimpy can be right back in it if this next break is going to work for him. Welcome back to Semi-Pro. Well, it's not often that Friday night 9 ball finishes short of the 3.5 hours, and it still might not, but we've got about another 4 minutes to go. Probably just going to go over it. It might go a bit further than that if Chimpy keeps going. So, back to within 1. And the 1 in the side. And no shot in the 2. Well, he could really blast this to try and thin cut it in. But common sense prevails. Although it's not especially tight to the 6 ball. But it gets the reward. So Chimpy with ball in hand to square the match. Again, he's just double checking to see if the 4 ball goes past the 8. Let's have a look. Well, I think he's got to. I would seriously think he's got to have another thought about finding a different pocket for it, probably down here, because he's got to get really, really good, and that is way too tight. You've not got much room for manoeuvre, but I think it will go. But you've got to get the 3 ball first. And no sooner have I said we should be all square, and it might not be the case. Still needs a good pot though. And Spectadon getting on the right side of the 4. Needs a little punch in to get out for the 5 though. He's not got an awful lot of angle to work with, so it needs a fair wee punch. And I mean, he could run forward and spin out, avoid the scratch, and well, he doesn't really have much to do other than make sure he gets the cut. The only other worry would be that he's hitting this with enough pace to get back across the table twice into the right area, anywhere over here for that 6 ball. And that's perfect. It doesn't want to go to the rail though. No, he's absolutely straight. So he's just going to, well, I was going to say pinch a little bit and get around the corner, but again, he's quite happy to leave these. It's a straight roll in anyway. This is easy enough. Well, has Chimpy blown his chance there? Missing that 3 ball. He had that rack in the bag almost if he'd got the 3. In fact, he still didn't have it in the bag because he played to take the 4 past the 8 ball, and I thought that was way too tight. He still might not have got out there. But anyway, we'll never know. Spectadon 1 away. One ball on the opposite side this time. Well, it's a thin cut to the right corner pocket. Of course, it's all about, again, the pace in the cue ball, because if this cue ball runs too far around the table, you end up hooked behind the 6. I think he's in 2 minds what to do here. He's going to the other side. He's trying to duck behind the 8 and 9. No, he's gone all out for the cut. Still the wrong side of the 3. Let's see what that is. Well, this is thin. Well, he'll settle for that. But I would, I'm fairly confident to say this match is over. Getting loads of check in the cue ball to straighten it up. So just a roll through, I think. Let's have a look at what the angle is. Yeah, just a roll through. Let the cue ball open up. Well, it's another one in the bag for Spectadon. A roll in dead weight in the 7. Roll in the 8. Roll up in the 9. So well done to him. Well done to Chimpy for getting to another final this week. And thanks everybody for watching. And I hope you can join us tomorrow night for the match, the big match with Cobra and Spectadon. It'll be a little bit of Bill and Pool Kabouter before it. But the main event is at 7:30 GMT, and I will see you then. So until then, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll bid you good night.
Good night, ladies.
Hasta la vista, baby.